You know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M,
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
I'm going to push back a little bit on a buddy of mine.
Okay.
We're just going to call him Slick.
Slick
Slavage, okay?
Slick Slavage.
My buddy walks in. He's like, "You all right, buddy?" You know, like insinuating like that I wasn't looking my rosiest, and I'm not looking. I think I'm fine. And he goes, "Just one more week of regular shows before the real." And he's correct on that because we'll do 5 more shows of what the season's going to look like, and then we're going to have a game week.
Game week, yeah.
But I am pumped to talk about it because we've got a good practice coming up tomorrow. We get to watch
talk
quite
about
a bit. Practice. We got a football team that I understand the doubters. I understand where they're coming from, and I also understand where the optimism comes from. And there's multiple areas. So this is a good time and a good place to be.
Okay. Well, I think College Station is always a good place.
No, I'm saying covering this program because I think they're on the precipice, if you will, of doing something big.
Not to be swept over the precipice like the Four Horsemen.
No, God no.
And the Army.
Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, or are you talking about the other ones?
Talking about
I'm kidding.
Notre, the great lead.
Yes.
Yes. Think of it as all that build up to Christmas. You know?
Yeah.
Christmas isn't just the event is awesome, but you know, all that wonderful good cheer leading up to the holiday. This is good cheer leading up to opening day.
So we're going to run our mouths, brought to you by the Brazos Running Company. From running shoes to Aggie pajamas, this Aggie family's got you covered. Visit Brazos Running Company in the Century Square. Shop Mason Hay at masonhay.com. And I've got a bunch of storylines here, all right? And I'm going to present these to you.
Okay.
And then some of these are like stuff we've talked about all offseason. Okay.
All right.
Some of them we've talked about recently. And which one are we going to say, which storyline are we going to look back and say, you know what? The signs were there. It wasn't just talk. The signs were there that these things were going to happen.
Signs, everywhere the signs.
Just like
blocking out the scenery.
Big letters, like the Hollywood sign, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I know you're a big Hollywood guy.
I saw the signs. I opened up my eyes and saw the signs.
West Hollywood? All right. Which storyline are we going to look back and say the signs were there? Marcel Reed looks different.
Okay. I think the signs are there.
Okay. I'm going to read through them all, all right? But I just want to see your reaction when I read them.
What's the biggest sign? What's that Las Vegas Strip
1A,
sign?
1B, 1C, all right?
Okay.
Maybe the best secondary A&M has had in years.
Okay.
We've heard it from the coach. The signs were there. Terry Bussey, one of the most improved players on the roster. There's been a couple of highlights on social media. People are getting excited. Billy's been reporting. The offensive line looks increasingly encouraging, or they're pretty darn good. How about that? Pretty darn good. Antosaka, he's Latino when I talk about him. Antosaka looks like a legit NFL monster.
Okay.
All right. Which one of those, and we'll tier them. Hopefully they all come true.
Okay.
Hopefully. Like that's the wish list.
How many signs are there right there?
It looks like I saw the sign. Who sang that?
Ace of Base.
Oh, there you go. 5.
Is it 5? Okay. 5 signs.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like there's 5 senses.
That's correct.
Okay.
So from those, Marcel looks different. Secondary, the best we've had in a long time. Terry Bussey, most improved player on the roster. Offensive line looks pretty darn legit. and Anto Saka looks like an NFL monster.
Okay. Number one for me is going to be Terry Bussey.
So you think?
I was looking back at some of his highlights recently because of that, some of his plays, and there was two obvious ones that he's going to make massive plays if he doesn't stumble with nobody around him. He's just running, all of a sudden he loses balance against. One was against South Carolina on a 4th down, but he got the first down. That's all. And the other one, who was it against? Maybe Mississippi State. I can't remember, but it looks like he's gonna. I mean, he's got plenty of room to run, and he's fast, everything, and he's just stumbled. So, and now with him learning and everything we've been hearing about him, I think. I mean, he only had like 19, 20 catches last year. I think I could
35.
He didn't have 30.
No, I'm saying this year.
I was gonna say I think he could double his production.
Okay, that's close to 35. Yeah.
Number two on is Anto Saka.
So you think? Yeah, he looks like it.
I mean,
day one, day two.
He looks like it now.
Yeah.
Now let's play like it. But yeah, I think I feel really good about that. I think Marcel's the number 3 guy there.
Okay.
And what are the other 2 options?
Offensive line looks pretty darn good, and maybe the best secondary A&M's had in years.
I'll put the secondary, and then I'll put the line just because it's hard for me to see anything with the offensive line because we're not there for when it really matters usually. And then when we are, they're on one end of the field. We're so far away from them, it's really hard to get a good look.
The only way we can believe is because we believe what...
I believe in Adam Cushing.
Yeah.
I believe in what I'm being told. But, yeah, anyway, that's my 5. That's my order.
Okay, which of these...
What's your order?
My order, let's see...
At 1775 order. No, I'm kidding.
That's coming up in a bit. I would say the most likely for me, on this list is the secondary.
Okay.
Okay, that's the most likely for me. I would say the next most, Anto would be second. Okay. I'd say Marceau would be third. I think to be the most improved player on the roster, I mean, it's very possible that Terry is the most improved player on the roster, but there's so many good wide receivers in that room. Will we feel the impact the way I think? They're all good. They're all possible. I don't know, B, but I'm going to go there. And then the line, because I don't have enough evidence in front of me, it's just...
So the only one we agree on is the line.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. We both had Anto second.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think all of the... If any of these are on point, I think we're the most important one. There's the 2 most important. How about that? The 2 most important ones on that list: offensive line and Marceau.
I'll agree with that in that order, really, because we've seen them be really good with Marceau at quarterback.
Yep.
New offensive line. Don't want to be LSU. Don't want to be like what happened to them.
Yeah. Secondary wise, they were really good last year. We know where they need to be better.
Catch the ball. Catch the ball when it comes to you.
Anto was not on the roster last year. Cassius was. Between Anto, Marco Jones, TJ Searcy, there's some guys that the production could be made in different ways.
Yes.
You don't need Anto to be Cassius.
No, but I mean he needs to be a productive guy. Either he or Marco. Again, my take is between Marco and Anto Polo, can you get? Can you equal the production, the sack production, and the pressure production that you got from Cassius? If 2 guys can do the work of 1.
If Terry Bussey is the most improved player on the roster,
okay,
what do you think that means for the offense?
Well, I think it's just as, if not more dynamic than it was last year through the first, 11 games.
Yeah.
It's very dynamic. I was interesting. I was discussing the possibility of number 3, the freshman receiver,
Aaron Gregory.
Aaron Gregory. I remember the numbers, right? I was discussing with him. He was saying, "Well, this was one of our staffers who said I think he's going to get 400 receiving yards next year." And I'm like, well, if Aaron Gregory gets 400 receiving yards, then
there's a couple different scenarios.
Marcel Reed is going to be, provided other guys
don't get hurt.
Then Marcel Reed's going to be a finalist for the Heisman. Because, first of all, he's a freshman. First of all, he's probably going to be fifth in the order. Yeah, I know he's the only other X, right, behind Horton, but there's still only so many balls to go around, only passes to be caught. So if that's the case, and I think Bussey's going to be probably, like I said, I think he could double his production to be about 400 yards. And then we know what Mario is. We got a good idea what Horton is.
Does Mario get 1,000 yards this year?
I just don't think so. I don't think so because there's
so many guys.
There's just so many. There's only so many passes to be thrown.
You can have less yardage and have a better season. And he had a damn good season last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he even missed a game.
Yeah.
He would have had 1,000, I believe, had he not had to miss a game. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most exciting players in college football.
Yeah.
How many people in college football today do you think could make the play that he made against Notre Dame when he spun out of the tackle and 3 guys were on him and he still turns a short pass to an 86-yard touchdown?
Well, I talked to him about that play. He came in studio, when was that? Wednesday, I think. And I said, what was the most memorable play for you last season? He goes, oh, Notre Dame.
No, yeah.
No doubt.
That was amazing.
It was.
And, there's some great receivers, but I would question anybody making that play. I'd question Mario making it until I actually saw it, right?
Now you won't question it.
I mean, I saw it happen. And then my question would be, how did that happen? So, yeah, he's one of the more exciting players in college football.
Hey, did you know this is TexAgs Live?
Speaking of excitement in college football, one of the exciting radio shows in college football, TexAgs Live.
The most exciting TV/radio/studio show in the country.
Anywhere, the world.
It's actually called...
And it's brought to you by David Gardner Schuler.
Yeah. Well, the world-famous TexAgs Live is brought to you by the world-famous David Gardner Schuler.
There you go.
In the world-famous Rollo Insurance Studio.
The world-famous Jackson, Jason, Keith Morgan, and everybody else.
The boys.
Yeah.
The girls.
Yeah, all of them.
And this hour is kind of famous. It's world-famous.
Yeah, because it's the Go Hour.
Yeah. And that's brought to you by...
the world-famous warehouse of CC Creations.
Yeah. And... let's see. We're currently hanging out at a world-famous place.
Yeah, the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline.
That's right. If you call the number 979-693-1150, you will call the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. I think we're going to have some cool news about Buppies on Monday. But currently sitting where?
Currently sitting in the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
That is correct. And if you want to text the show, there is a way to show. How do you text us?
Like that? Oh, you mean you mean on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy PPE text line?
By the way, visit drinkcatalyst.com. Buy any 12-pack and get the second 12-pack free. Just use the code TexAgs at checkout to get the offer.
Hey, the other day I went up to the gym and I was feeling kind of tired. Not yesterday because I had a speaking engagement.
Okay.
I had a speaking engagement out at the Parker Traditions.
Yeah.
Just, hey, shout out to Joe and Peggy Bear.
Joe and Peggy, what up?
Thank you for getting up every morning and watching us. Okay, so anyway.
Do you think, do Joe and Peggy say what up, or should I say good morning to you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Joe and Peggy.
But anyway, I was feeling a little bit tired. I grabbed one of those.
You were good.
Man, I was knocking it out when I got to the gym. I was. By the time I left, I was just covered in sweat by the time I left.
All right, let's go around the room. We're going to go left and right. We're going to go behind the glass. We're going to say hi to Slick Slavage. Hey, Nick Savage.
I was going to say, I want to kind of beat Slick Slavage up, but I guess that's me.
I'm just kidding.
I know you were. But hey, it's a big day. It's opening day, right? We all like opening day. Aggie volleyball getting started, trying to run it back. And you know how I knew it was Aggie volleyball's first game? Because Kay Nagley usually gets to the office right around like 7:50-ish. She strolled in today 10 minutes early with a little pep in her step, so she's excited. And they got a big one tonight against Louisville. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. So we'll all be tuned in for that.
Did they play Louisville in the playoff run? I remember them playing Kentucky.
Yeah,
in the Sweet 16.
Played Louisville too.
Yeah. Am I remembering that one
We
correctly?
own
Didn't
Kentucky.
Louisville win the first set, and then it was the reverse?
It was a reverse
And
sweep.
then they
Yeah.
just
They just took him to the woodshed,
took 'em
bro.
to that woodshed.
They said, "Hiya, taka."
Yeah.
That's more, like kung fu, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, kung fu people do woodshedding. Anyway, let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Reese Nygren. The guy's all over the place, right? Helping people move into their dorms, doing a comedy show during meetings. The guy is
Norway.
everywhere. Norway, yeah. What's up, Reese Nygren?
Howdy, good morning. How are y'all?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I did move my little sister into her dorm yesterday, which was, of course, an all-day event. So she's finally here. She's the last of the 3, all at A&M.
Yeah,
So
that's fantastic.
my parents don't know what to do now that they're empty nesters. They've had at least one kid in the house for 23 years. So
That's going to suck in a few years for me. But my boys moved in this week, and they're literally down the street, and I'm sad because they're not there in the morning, right? Like, and it's not like when they go away for like a night or two or a camp, like they're like gone.
Yeah.
They're like probably North Gating right now, even though that's not their
But like
style
you said,
yet.
you're going to be able to see them every day, every time you want to.
Every time. Well, they do need to get away. Like they need to
Yeah.
feel like they're
Yeah,
away,
they
but
do.
they need to come home every day.
Yeah.
They have a curfew. Anyway, Nygren, tell us something.
So I know this news broke yesterday during the fan show, but I wanted to get OB's thoughts on it. Legendary A&M football head coach R.C. Slocum will be honored with a bronze statue outside of Kyle Field on the north end. Slocum is the program's all-time winningest head coach and boasts numerous accolades, including 4 total Southwest Conference titles, including 3 in a row from 1991 to 93. The best conference winning percentage that includes a record of 44, 6-2, and never saw a team don the maroon and white finish with a losing record. Slocum was a 3-time Southwest Conference Coach of the Year and was inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in 2005 and the College Football Hall of Fame in 2012.
Well deserved. Probably should have happened earlier.
Yep.
And never met a finer gentleman in that coaching profession.
I agree.
You know, treats people with respect.
No matter who you are.
Yeah. I have seen him, and it wasn't my question, okay, even though there's plenty of them that, but I've seen him in a press conference where people ask him the most inane, ridiculous questions, and he would just go and give them, wouldn't call them out, wouldn't try to belittle them. He'd just give them a really, good answer because he's just a nice person.
He's class.
He's a classy guy.
That's what the C stands for. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what his,
Real class.
you know what a CB,
Slocum.
you know what a CB radio handle was?
Of course I do, yeah.
What was it?
Walker 1019.
What was his personally had one?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
It was Rain Cloud for RC.
Is that right?
They told us that at a press
I
conference.
didn't know that. Oh, no, I thought it was real class Slocum.
What I always liked about RC was he would let players, you could get the players you wanted, you could request them, and then if they said something, I don't want to say crazy, controversial, or
Headline worthy.
or headline, he'd say stuff like, "Well, I can't quote RC without trying to use, well, don't write checks your butt can't with your what does it say? Don't write checks with your mouth that your butt can't cash."
That's the best. You know what? I got an idea for us.
All right, what's your idea?
My idea is for Olin Buchanan,
Me?
David Nunez,
Him?
and R.C. Slocum
Oh,
to go to 1775. R.C., if you're
I would
listening.
love that.
Okay? I'll pick up the bill.
Okay,
All right? The 3 of us chat, talk football,
just hear his stories.
and talk barbecue.
Oh man, well I'm
Bro,
sure
we can stream it. America.
he's lived his whole life in Texas. Well, except for 1 year where he went out to L.A. and maybe he's the defense coordinator at USC for a year. But so he knows football and he knows barbecue.
Yeah.
And when you want the best of those worlds to
Collide.
yeah. It's R.C. Slocum and 1775 barbecue. It would be perfect. I could see him thinking this. Well, Brad, or I'm R.C. I can't do it. I'm terrible.
You have to say certain things
But
to
I
get
don't
you in
know.
character, right?
But give me some of that succulent brisket, and I'll have some of those amazing pork ribs. And you know what? Throw on some of that incredible jalapeno cheese sausage. And you know what? By golly, he'd say by golly.
By golly.
By golly. We'll have some queso mac and cheese, especially since Nuno's paying for it.
You know what the funny part is?
It's a terrible.
No, you went from RC to Mr. T back to RC all in the same sentence.
Just because I said I can't speak RC without trying to do it in his voice, doesn't mean I can do it in his voice. What he's good at is Briz Erneman.
We should probably clip it and send this to the 1775 and RC slogan.
No, RC, he might already know.
Yeah. 1775txbbq.com is the website. The number is 979-492-6241. RC, it is 1775.
And it's good.
Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar. I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. Friday Morning Fever here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. Time for 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned, independent fee-only fiduciary serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com. And number 6 on the list is...
Number 4 on the team.
Reuben Owens. When you mentioned Terry Bussey, that he could have had a couple really big plays but fell, I thought of Ruben as well in the Texas game, unfortunately, which he brought up in the press conference a little while ago. He wants 1,000 yards this year. He thinks that's possible. Let's get it done.
Well, he had 600 and change last year, and he was a backup at least half the year. Right. And then you mentioned the times where he stumbled. So, I think, in fact, I would expect him to get 1,000 yards this year. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ruben Owens is he's an exciting guy. The only thing that Ruben has to prove is that he can run with power. Mm-hmm. You know, if it's 3rd and 1, is Ruben the guy you can go to? Because you could go to Le'Veon Moss, and if not Le'Veon, you could go to E.J. Smith last year. I don't know that Ruben was the guy, and I'm not saying that he couldn't do it, but I don't know that he was the guy you were looking for to pick up the tough yardage.
Right.
Maybe because you just had 2 guys better at it. But I know but as far as being a home run hitter, without a doubt, I think it was Mississippi State. I may be wrong on that, but he had like a 56 or 57-yard touchdown run. Had a long touchdown run against Missouri, and that's a good defense. Mm-hmm. And then another long run that set up a touchdown. Yep. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. People forget against Notre Dame, I think on A&M's first touchdown, Ruben had like a 30-yard catch that put the ball down inside the 5.
This is right. Yeah, that's true.
So he catches the ball well. He had a big catch on a 3rd and 2, maybe it's 4th and 2 for a first down against Arkansas. Good receiver, home run hitter as a running back. He can get you the big play. I think he might have had 40 or 4 runs over 30 yards last year, maybe more than that. But can he be the guy that's going to get you the tough yard? And if not, who's that guy going to be?
Right.
But it may be Ruben. I mean, I know he's worked hard to get a little bit bigger and stronger. And you know what I like about Ruben on top of all that? You just mentioned it earlier because he talked about, the stumbles that could have been big plays. Ruben has self-awareness. He says, hey, I have to get better at something. I have to get better. And so I'm thinking that he's done what he needs to do. And you know what? He may be on your list of we should have saw the signs.
We should have seen the signs. I saw the sign. That's the song we got to come back with. Olin's favorite, Ace of Base. I saw the sign. Anyway, Go ahead.
Like signs everywhere, signs better. But okay. Yeah. But anyway.
There's probably a couple songs we can use.
Yeah, there's all kinds of signs.
We spent 3 years talking about what Ruben Owens could be. Mm-hmm. This is the year we talk about what.
Well, let's understand. 1 year he got hurt.
He got injured.
His first year as a freshman year, you're taking anything. You saw the signs.
Yeah.
When he was a freshman.
You did.
You say, okay, look, he's got some quick feet. He has some burst. Can really cut. Then he got hurt the year before that, and then last year.
Le'Veon when healthy, Le'Veon was a dog, right? Yeah. Like he was the guy.
But now Ruben's the guy.
Yeah.
And I'll say today at 8:28 on August 21st that Ruben Owens, unless he gets hurt, God forbid, Ruben Owens will be 1,000-yard back.
When was the last time 1,000-yard back? Was that A-Chain?
Yeah. I mean, he had 200 against LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, that year when he was the only thing the offense had. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Spiller probably got there.
I think Spiller got there in 21, maybe? Was that 21 that he got there? Maybe it was 20. But yeah.
And then yes, Reese?
22, Devon A-Chain had 1,100 yards. 21, Isaiah Spiller had 1,011 yards.
And then there was Travion Williams, who rushed for it exactly 1 mile. He did. He rushed for exactly 1 mile.
1,600 meters, which would be 1,770 yards.
Whatever it was, that's what he rushed for.
Sorry.
So A&M is accustomed to having very, highly productive running backs, and I think Ruben Owens.
Can you look up how close I was on that, by the way?
Yeah. In 2018, Travion Williams ran for 1,760 yards.
Okay, I was 10 yards off. I was pretty close.
Yeah. I looked it up. It was exactly a mile.
Yeah.
He ran a mile. So anyway, you know what? Ruben Owens might run a mile. I wouldn't bet on it just because that's
you got Morrow there. I mean, you've got some other guys that are going to touch the ball too. Tiger Ryden, there's very talented backfield. But that being said, He's going to hopefully rush for over 1,200 yards.
Sounds like, from what people have been saying, that maybe if they need that tough yard, if they look away from Ruben, it might be Tiger.
Tiger, the tough yard guy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do a lot more on Ruben Owens with Billy Liucci a little bit later. Right now, we're talking heritage films. Farming and ranching families do think differently, and so do Aggies, right? We really value our time together. We value our story. We value our history, right? And that's why Chance McClain and his team love telling people's documentary stories. He loves to do it in this 2-hour form, like you feel like you're watching something on Netflix. And he does it for everyday Joes. So you live right down the street here on George Bush, or you have a great, ranch in Alaska. You're a big Alaska guy, right?
My hat says so.
Yeah. So wherever you live, let Chance McClain and his team be an eye in the sky and tell your family story. Pass down those stories for the future generations that will inherit your land, or just so they know what your family's all about. Call them up at 713-893-8341. 713-893-8341, or go to yourheritagefilm.com. That is yourheritagefilm.com. Hey everybody, David Nuno here, TexAgs Live, here with Sheldon and Danny Shelley of Aggieland Hydration. Sheldon, I want to start off with you. What is Aggieland Hydration, and who do you serve?
So we're a mobile IV company. We serve the Bryan College Station area, and we are licensed under our medical director to work anywhere in the state of Texas, but given the name, we're focused on the Bryan College Station area.
Danny, how do appointments work?
So when a client calls in, they can call into our main line, or we have an online booking process. We get a quick little bit of information, name, date of birth, the address of where we're going to go, kind of what's going on. We give that information over to our nurse, and usually they can arrive within 30 minutes to an hour.
Danny, who's this geared towards? Is it more for like sick people, athletes, people who've been partying? Who is this for?
All the above.
Okay.
And it just really depends on what you're getting after. Sheldon travels a lot, so I give him an IV once a week. Some people get it just as needed, like when they're sick, or if they've been working, in the yard all weekend, if they just had a big workout, stuff like that.
And all right, Sheldon, help me out. Why do I not just drink a bunch of water or juice? Like, why go the IV route?
Yeah, so drinking water orally, you don't absorb it all. So getting a liter of fluids into your bloodstream directly, you feel the results better. And it's equivalent to drinking about almost 2.5 gallons of water.
All right, that's Aggieland Hydration. How do people check you out?
They can go to our website at aggielandhydrationandinjectables.com.
Or you can call them up at 979-217-1561. It is Aggieland Hydration.
Relationships are built through shared experiences. A conversation before kickoff. A weekend with clients. Time spent together. That's the idea behind Game Day Suites Aggieland. Private, individually owned spaces designed for hosting, gathering, and doing business in the heart of Aggieland. Just minutes from Kyle Field. Purpose built for connection. Designed for Aggies. Game Day Suites. A place to gather. A place to connect. A place to belong.
It's a catchy tune, but I hate the song.
It's kind of catchy. It was ever one of my favorite songs. I mean, I wouldn't turn off the radio if I was driving it on.
Early 90s, right?
But I wouldn't turn. I don't even know.
Niagara, you're kind of jamming right here?
It's a good song. I don't know when it came out, but
Yeah, you like it.
It's
Look
pretty
at the
catchy.
smile you had. That's
It's
a-
pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Is that a lady? Is that a lady singing it?
Yeah, Ace.
Ace?
Her name's Ace.
Okay.
I don't know. But are you, for real, you know the song?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, is this what you play in your pain cave when you work out?
No, yeah, it's not. No.
The pain cave. What? I just pictured it. I've never seen his gym. I picture a very dark garage with weights everywhere and Megadeth playing on the speakers. That's what I picture.
Pain cave. I thought you were going somewhere completely different.
Is there something else about a pain cave that I don't know about?
If you're into that, not me, but
I really don't.
I'm so confused.
I'm lost. Believe it or don't. Brought to you by me. We're gonna play a little segment of Believe It or Don't. All right,
believe it or don't.
A&M.
I believe it.
We'll finish the season 2-10.
Oh no.
Okay, well, no, I was kidding. That's not the option. A&M will have a top 5 offense in the SEC.
I believe that.
Why?
There's just there is so much talent at the skill position, quarterback, running back, receivers, and even tight end. I think Houston. I hope I'm not just biased. I'm seeing what I want to see.
Yeah.
But I think Houston Thomas is going to add to that big play element.
I think first off, we've seen him do it.
Yeah.
Right. Not at A&M, but we've seen him do it against A&M. We've seen him do it, and also he's just he stopped and talked to us
Good
the other
dude.
day. He's just a very good kid. I'm rooting big
Grew
time
up,
for
played
him.
basketball and football with my
Yeah.
son, so I've known him since he was like 6th, 7th grade. Anyway, that the offensive line just needs to be adequate.
Yep.
And if the offensive line is really good, look out. But if it's adequate, there's just too much. There's too much explosive ability. But Ashton Bethel Roman averaged 20 yards a catch last year.
Yeah.
And he was almost an afterthought most of the season.
He was.
So yeah, I think.
Yeah. What were they last year?
Yeah, last year in scoring offense, Texas A&M was 4th in the conference, averaging 33.8 points per game. And in terms of yards per game in the Southeastern Conference, they were 5th.
Yeah, and I bet if you just went on conference games, they're probably climbing, because then you're throwing out. Well, I don't want to go just on conference games because you want that Notre Dame game.
You want that Notre Dame game
but,
too.
If you just go on regular season games.
Number 2 on Believe It or Don't. Marcel Reed throws fewer than 8 interceptions.
Yeah, I believe that too. I think
Is 8 the number? Is that the Vegas number?
Might be. I think you get better the more you do something, and I think he's going to recognize when to take a chance and when not to.
Yep.
We were talking about that Florida game yesterday when he throws an interception into the end zone.
With Terry Bussey right
Terry
there.
Bussey's at the 10-yard line saying, "Hey,
Please.
I got a first down for you."
Yep. All right. And we know the number on that one. The next one, A&M has 3 wide receivers with at least 500-plus yards. Believe it?
I'll believe it.
Yeah. Last year they had that, right?
Last year they did. Casey, 919 yards. Mario Craver, 917. And Ashton Bethel Roman snuck
503.
in at 503.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would that be the case again?
Could it be 4? That's a lot.
It could be 4, but if it's 4, you're probably not going to have anybody in the 900s.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
The fourth most receiving yards on the team last year was Nate Borkacher with 198.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big
That's
jump
a
from
pretty
3
big
to
jump,
4.
yeah. And I don't think of him, I know he got a lot of throws this way, but I don't think of him as a yardage guy. All right, let's go to the next one. The Aggie secondary finishes top 3 in the SEC.
Well, yeah. Why would I not believe that? They were 3rd last year in pass defense.
Well, it is a little different.
It is a little different. If Ricky Gibson is what everybody has said that he is, then
Or
yeah.
if Julio Humphrey is what we think he is.
Yeah, if there's an adequate replacement for Will Lee, because everybody else is back. I mean, it's deep second. Yeah, the only reason I might, if I was inclined to say no, I'd say yeah, but that defense was aided by a pass rush that was one of the best in the conference. We can't necessarily say that pass rush is going to be one of the best in the conference.
Well, we're going to
That's
get to
probably coming up.
That's coming up. You have some numbers for us on the defense?
Yeah, in terms of passing
Secondary.
defense, OB was correct. They were third in the conference last year, allowing 176 passing yards per game.
All right. Here's the next one. Antosaka.
Antosaka.
Yeah. My good Cuban brother. Gets 8+ sacks in 2026.
8?
That's a
Miles
lot.
Garrett had 8 his freshman year.
Miles Garrett, Hall of Famer, by the way. It's a big number.
8 is a big number.
All right, let me check.
You know what? I'll believe it.
Okay.
I'll believe it. It may not happen,
How about
but
this?
I'll believe it.
Marco Jones / Antosaka / TJ Searcy. One of those three gets you 8.
No, if it's going to happen, it's probably Antosaka.
Okay.
Antosaka.
Saka. We know that Cassius Howell had $1 billion.
Yeah,
11 and a half. The team as a whole had 43 sacks, which was second in the conference. And in terms of tackles for loss, they were second as well with 110.
Okay. Next one. The offensive line becomes a strength by October. Hesitation.
See, I don't know.
I don't either.
I
can't answer that.
And I don't want to say I don't believe it because I know potentially they're there. But
not enough information is there to make the.
Yeah, I don't want to say I believe it on everything, especially something that I've not seen with my own eyes.
All right, fine. Believe it, don't IDK.
IDK.
That's fine. We can do an IDK.
IDK.
All right. You know what that stands for?
I don't know.
Okay, just making sure.
No, you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's on
It
first?
sounds like I was going to say, it sounds like an Abbott Costello bit.
All right, next one. A&M enters the Texas game with college football playoff positioning already secured.
Already secured?
Or it's at stake.
I believe it's at stake.
Okay, so you think they're going to go in there at worst with 2 losses in that Texas game?
Yes, at worst.
If that's the case, they're going to beat Texas, by the way.
Heck yeah.
Now, America. I always go to America. I like America.
My favorite.
There's probably no stats you can provide there, but the last 2 years they have gone into the Texas game.
With a chance.
Yeah.
Well, the chance to make the playoffs 2 years ago, they'd have to win the Texas game and the SEC championship, right? Like Bumpy's Catering and bartending.
So you're saying there was a chance?
But there was a chance.
I hear you.
Okay. A&M wins 10+ regular season games again. Believe it or don't. Optimistic OB. OOB.
I used to never be optimistic, but they didn't used to have Mike Elko as coach. I'll believe it. Why? I was on in Austin today.
Okay.
Earlier today, and they were talking about A&M's tough schedule. I'm like, last year they were saying the same thing, and I don't know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad and all those things. But why am I not going to believe it? They won 11 games last year. Why do I not believe they can't be? Just you ask them to be one game worse.
Okay. Next one. I mean, you've already answered this one, so I think the answer is yes. But just for kicks and giggles, this Texas A&M team will be considered better than the 2025 A&M team.
Well, I certainly hope so. Man, that was a good team. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I don't believe it.
Okay.
They got to prove it.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, I hope they don't believe it yet. I hope they believe that it's possible.
Oh, I believe it's possible. I'm going to say I don't believe it because you got to. What have I been saying all offseason? You can't have a great team without at least a really good offensive line. And I'm gonna say they're 8-4 until I see it. So I'm already contradicting myself. But I'm going to say they're 8-4 until I see the offensive line perform in my own. Now I feel confident. I'm confident in Adam Cushing. I'm confident in Mike Elko bringing in guys. They're not bringing in guys that can't help you.
So Nick, if you can put up the schedule.
But I still want to see them play.
Who on their schedule? Because everybody talks about how difficult of a schedule it is, and I think it is, especially where the games are going to be played at. But looking at their schedule, who are a team or two that, you know what, I just don't think they're going to be who everybody says they are right now, and maybe a team or two that, you know what, they're going to be better than people are saying.
I don't believe Tennessee's going to be a number 20 team.
Okay.
I'm hearing people say, "Oh, they got everything but a quarterback." Okay. I'm questioning that Alabama will be a top 15 team.
Okay.
I've had questions about them. And
do you have questions about Oklahoma?
I do have questions about Oklahoma, just as I have questions about A&M. What did I say where I've said all along I'd put A&M like 12 to 15.
Didn't Venables get an extension yesterday?
Yeah.
He did.
That was random. That's fine.
I don't know about LSU. We're just assuming a lot with LSU.
Yeah, I do. I still think going to Baton Rouge at night, no matter who's coaching, it's a challenge. It's more than a challenge.
Wasn't last year.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Death Valley came. Death Valley.
If you can, please put Oklahoma's schedule, because I think where you play a team matters.
Mm-hmm.
And getting Oklahoma at the end is scary because it's at the end, and there's supposed to be this great defense, and I think they'll be a great defense.
Either that, or like if you played LSU at the end of last year, you were playing a team that's really
out of it,
melded in,
right? But
Oklahoma.
But Oklahoma, look, by the time A&M plays them, that means they're going to have gone to Ann Arbor and win. They're going to have Georgia in September at Georgia. Okay, they have Texas and Ole Miss on their before you get to A&M. They may be a 4-loss team by the time A&M plays them.
They also have to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Which you say, oh, it's only Florida. Well, ask the Longhorns about going into the swamp. And they have to go to Missouri.
So everybody talks about the schedule. Where you play them, I think, really matters. The fact that A&M gets LSU the week after Ole Miss could be very advantageous for A&M. Could be. It could go the other way too. They're really good against Ole Miss, and they know who they are, and then you got to go there, and that place is rocking, right?
Right.
So there's multiple things it could be.
I repeat this all the time. I don't worry about the schedule, because every schedule, 99% of every schedule in SEC, it's a tough schedule. You signed up for it, so there's no reason for lamentations. Oh, look how tough our schedule is. If you wanted it easy, Dan Hawkins would say, "Hey, play intramurals, brother.
Yeah,
play intramurals."
But and I'll say this: I was listening to Crain and Company this morning, getting ready for. I'm going to interview Jake. In a little bit. And Jake Crain believes A&M's a 10-2 team. He thinks they beat Texas at the end of the year. David Cohn, his partner, thinks they're probably an 8-4 team, but he has so much respect for the roster. But he's like, but that schedule. He kept on bringing that schedule, and I agree. I do think the schedule is imposing. But that schedule. What about the other teams that have that schedule? There's other teams that have that same stuff. Texas has a daunting schedule.
Yeah, that's why I'm always saying, like, if you're looking at Oklahoma, like you just were, and you're looking at it from the Oklahoma standpoint and how difficult it is, they're going, and then you got to play A&M on top. We're acting like, not us, a lot of people are acting like A&M is this mouse with the hawk swooping in on it.
Yep.
No, A&M's the hawk. It's
we're swooping in.
We're swooping. Like,
where's the swoopers?
Like Cassius Howell last year.
Yeah. Swooping in
on those quarterbacks.
Let's do it. That was your line, not Elko's. All right, we'll hit a break. We'll close it out with Bank on It here on the Go Hour. Right now, we're talking Rollo Insurance. They build lasting relationships through education. They help you understand what you're buying, the why behind it, and they have expertise in just about everything when it comes to your insurance, from your home to your auto to your business to your ranch insurance to your specialty coverage. Their independent agents do provide options tailored to your specific need. They take time to explain that policy in plain language, ensuring that you're never left wondering about your coverage. And their educational approach helps you make informed decisions about protecting your family, your home, and your business. Many clients discover better rates simply by understanding the options that are there for them. Experience the difference at one of their 60-plus offices in the great state of Texas. As you know, their headquarters is right here in College Station on Highway 6. Visit RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs. That's RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs. 888-44-ROLLO. It is Rollo Insurance. We're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Go Hour coming to a close, brought to you by the Warehouse at CC Creations. Time for Bank on It, presented by Vera Bank. OB, we've already kind of gone through a lot of potential scenarios. You want to bank on any of the ones I threw out at you, or do you want to bank on something? Or volleyball, maybe?
Yeah, volleyball. I'm banking on. Why would you not
bank on Jamie Morrison and that team?
That team to, I don't know what their winning streak is, but to keep it going.
Keep going. Yep.
I'm gonna bank on all those things I said that I believe in, and all the things. Well, and all the signs. I think signs is kind of the theme of today.
Yeah.
So I'm banking on all the signs.
Banking on all the signs. Okay.
My bank has a lot of signs.
Let's see. I'm gonna bank on which one of these do I want?
We got more signs than Hunter Goodwin.
That's impossible. I've counted so many recently.
Either what's more maroon and white signs or green and black signs.
Right. Let's go with carry the 2 times pi Pythagoras theorem. I'm going to go with banking on A&M has 3 receivers with over 500 yards.
Okay.
And a 4th right there.
Right.
Knocking on the door. Just like, what was it, 180 yards for Nate Borgenshire was the 4th one last year? Okay. Bussy is at like 426.
Well, I said, how much did Bussy, how many receiving yards? He had about
195.
195. So Bussy, 390.
Bussy, 390? Okay.
390.
Let's get him to 405.
That'd be doubling his production. Well, that would be knocking on 400 yards.
Yeah. It would be over 400 yards, right?
I'm pretty sure 390 is less.
No, I said 405. I said, let's make it 405.
Oh, okay.
Let's change the number to 405.
Oh, okay.
All right. He gets 1 extra catch in the Citadel game or in the Texas game, a touchdown to give them the win, goes over 405 yards.
Hey, I would allow it. I wouldn't predict it. I could predict the touchdown, everything, and all that, but I just think that there's only so many yards out there to be gained.
With all the attention that Mario's probably going to get, you would assume Mario would get some attention, right?
Yeah.
A guy that I don't think we talk enough about is Horton. Like, what's Horton going to do with this offense? I mean, you can try to double him too. He's kind of a big dude.
Right. Look, I think A&M's going to have 3 receivers that warrants double team coverage, but you can't do that.
Right. I hope they do.
Because Bethel Roman, he averaged 20 yards a catch, and most of it was in the second half of last season.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to have an advantage and a mismatch somewhere. It's up to Marcel to find it.
Yeah. Obi, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. That's going to do it for the Go Hour. Coming up next on TexAgs Live, Jake Crain, Crain and Company, joining the show. He's got A&M going 10-2. He says not enough people are talking about the baller that Marcel Reed is. It's going to be Must Listen Radio next on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. 1998, maybe. TexAgs Live here, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number 2 of the program. Our next guest, Jake Crain, is a guy who tells it like it is. He, on his show recently, has A&M going 10-2. He defends Marcel Reed. He definitely loves himself some Coach Elko from Crain & Company. We've got Jake Crain here on the Puppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. What's up, bud?
Nuno, what is up, brother? Appreciate y'all having me. Just like you guys, excited for the season to get here, and you know we're still going to talk, but want to see a little walking now.
Yeah, let's do it here with Jake Crain on the program. All right, so let's start off with 10-2. So I understand. Look, I have questions about A&M. I think the schedule, the offensive line, the defensive line, the coordinators. Where I have confidence is that you got a returning quarterback and a coach who I think is a badass. So give me your reasons why you have confidence in A&M this year.
Well, for obviously some of the reasons you listed, I think they've done nothing but continue to build on what Mike Elko inherited and has kind of gotten them to this point. You know, you talk about the schedule, and this is what we talked about in our Texas A&M preview. Yeah, it's tough, but I feel like it's kind of segmented perfect. If you were going to give me a tough schedule, I don't want it, 4 or 5 weeks back to back to back to back. I mean, I go in segments, right? So you look at the first 4 games, all right, at LSU. That's going to be tough. We all understand that, but that's really it. The next 4. Arkansas at home, you should win that one. At Missouri, I think you're a better team. The Citadel, thanks for your service, but that's a murder. And then you got at Bama, right? And then you end it with what I think is the hardest stretch, but not impossible, of at South Carolina, Tennessee at home, at OU, and then Texas. So while the schedule's tough, I do think it's segmented out pretty well. You're not getting, a crazy amount at one time. As far as the personnel that's returning, I look at the line of scrimmage, and I've always thought, and I've said this since Elko got the job, that regardless of where he is, whether it's Duke, whether it's Texas A&M, it doesn't matter. He's going to get every ounce of juice out of the squeeze, and I believe he's going to continue to do that at a place like A&M, where you can pay top dollar for guys. No recruit is inaccessible to you, and once you get him in the program and into your culture, then you're able to really affect them. So I look at the personnel. You're good enough. You're deep enough. Marcel Reed gets slept on. Not that he's perfect, but he gets slept on. Everybody loves Kevin Jennings, but nobody likes Marcel Reed. I still can't figure that out when there's a lot of similarities. So I think there's still a chip on the shoulder. I think the A&M players are still pissed off about losing that game at home to Miami the way that they did last year in the playoffs. So hungry, talented, capable, good schedule, in my opinion, even though it's tough. I mean, why not?
Jake Crain from Crain & Co. I called it Crain & Company. That was the old name. I apologize, Jake. So, hey.
It's all good.
I listened, and David, who I have a lot of respect for, David Cohn, says he loves the roster, he loves the trajectory, but that schedule is a monster, and I agree with him. I guess my retort to him, and I'm just bringing it to you, is, but Oklahoma has a monster schedule. Texas has a monster schedule. It ain't just A&M, so, if you are a good team, you are a good team regardless.
For sure. And I mean, to your point, it could be a huge pile up here, outside of somebody going 11-1. When you look at the amount of teams that could go 10-2, kind of how this thing would work out, the tiebreakers. I'll tell you right now, Nuno, we're doing our SEC final predictions. Who goes to the SEC championship game? Who wins it? That I couldn't figure out my second team. I had to go to the 5th tiebreaker to figure it out. And then it turned into a guess. That's how crazy it is. But yeah, and that's what makes it fun. Now, just like everybody out there knows, there's going to be teams that are better than what we think. There's going to be teams that are worse than what we think. The question is, who are those teams? Outside of the obvious ones on the schedule there for A&M, I'm looking at, at South Carolina. That could end up, if the offensive line at South Carolina works out, that could be a really, really tough one. Tennessee, we'll see with the quarterback position. They're pretty good around it. We'll find out. Oklahoma's got to be able to run the ball better. Just like Alabama, could those teams be a little bit worse than what we thought? So again, who really knows at the end of the day? But excuses, you can make them. It's like I always say on my show: if I want to hear excuses, I'll interview prisoners.
Hey, Jake, I loved how you kind of talked about the coaches prior to Elko and just what they did. If you can kind of restate your thought process on the Sumlin era, the Jimbo era, and now to the Elko era, which is what gives you a lot of hope for this program.
Well, it just feels like to me that it's like a Goldilocks situation at Texas A&M, right? With the last 3 coaches. You know, you go in there, this porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. Now with Elko, it's just right. What do I mean by that? Sumlin, porridge way too hot. He wanted the disco ball. He wanted to make Texas A&M look like you're going to like Coachella mixed with Rodeo Drive in a weird way. And it didn't work. I mean, there was obviously some times that were great, but you'll never be consistent that way, especially consistently great. Then you have Jimbo, who is that porridge a little too cold. It was a little too old school. He never evolved. Jimbo was running the same thing. He was still doing 3-card Monty out in front of Madison Square Garden when everybody figured out the game, right? He never evolved. At some point, you got to stop doing the electric slide and do the Cupid shuffle, man. That's just how it works. But with Elko, I think it's just right. I think he's the perfect blend of old school, but understands, how to talk to guys in this generation of this age and how to be cool, right? Because he knows, what's cool? Winning. Because you know what you get when you win? Money. And everybody gets some money. And money's really cool, especially to an 18 and 19-year-old, a lot of them who've never had any money. And this is more money they've ever seen in their life. So to me, this porridge is a little too hot. This porridge is a little too cold. This Mike Elko porridge. And I bet Mike Elko can do it on the grill too. How much I'd be willing to bet Mike Elko can get on the grill and do some work.
He's probably got a grill, a Traeger, you name it. Jake,
Look, you making that type of money, I'd basically have a robot that did it.
Jake, I want to stay with the Jimbo thing for a second, but go to Dabo. Is Dabo today's Jimbo from a couple years ago?
That's a good way to put it. It's just, and we still have to see, but I look at this Clemson team, not that there's not talent. And look, does Dabo do some cringy things? Yes. Should he stay off TikTok? Yes. Stop dancing, just please, for everybody involved. I think it's gotten to the point now with Dabo where the shtick is a little bit kind of up. I don't think they're going to be able to get the quality of player consistently that they've gotten in the past. Not that Clemson doesn't have money. It's just like with Dabo, it feels like, hey, it's like the first time I beat my dad in basketball at the driveway, right? I'd never lost to him again. All it took was that one time. It feels like Dabo finally got, his son finally beat him in driveway basketball, and now he'll never win again.
Talking to Jake Crain here on TexAgs Live. All right, let's go back to Marcel for a second, because you made that Kevin Jennings comparison, and people love to talk about Kevin Jennings, and I think Marcel catches a lot of strays. You've kind of gone through that. Why do you think it is? Look, there are some metrics that he's got to get better at. Everybody recognizes that. We know the last 2 games were poor, and you can put some reasons to it. It doesn't matter. They were not his best games. Mm-hmm. I always go to the body of work, and the body of work was excellent if you look at it. Not the last 2, but the body of work. Why do you think he catches the strays, and why are you so high on him?
Well, I think the big part of it is that's the last thing people remember from last year. A lot of people won't look at it the way you just looked at it in totality, which they should. They just go off the last thing they remember. It's just like me and my wife. Like, I love her a ton. We've been married now for 3.5 years. If we have an argument before I go to sleep, when I wake up the next morning, that's all I'm going to remember is the argument, not how we've loved each other for so long. And then we'll get back to loving each other again. Not that you ever really stop. I'm talking myself into trouble. I hope she doesn't watch this. But to answer your question, I think because when you watch Marcel, I've never seen somebody be pretty consistent that it feels inconsistent, right? Like, you really just don't know, because he's not great at making the easy plays easy. He'll make the hard plays look easy. He'll make the incredible plays look easy, and you're like, wow, this guy's amazing. Or he'll take off and run, and you'll watch him, and he's kind of like a deer. He runs a little bit like Jaden Daniels. You're like, this guy's incredible, but especially over the middle. And if you go watch, the 2 things Marcel Reed has to do a much better job of is not missing high over the middle and taking the check down earlier if he doesn't want to take off and run. If he can do those 2 things, he's got all the ability in the world. It's not like he has no feel as a passer. It's not like his arm strength isn't good enough or his arm talent isn't good enough. I think it is. But at some point, making the fadeaway three with a hand in your face is sexy, but dude, can you hit a couple mid-range jumpers just to feel good about it a couple times? That's where I think the growth for Marcel Reed is, and I think he has the potential to get there. That's my biggest beef with people that don't like Marcel Reed. They act like he can't get any better. Like his completion percentage hadn't gotten a little bit better each year. And if you really go dig into it, he has some drops too now. Mm-hmm. He had some big drops in big moments at times last year as well. So it's not just Marcel, but over the middle, not missing high, because that safety's there to hungry hippos, that thing. I think he can do it, and I just think people like to pick on A&M. I really do, and I don't know why.
Jake, the wide receivers, look, when you lose Casey Concepcion, you can't be as good, or can you? Because, ABR is more seasoned. Isaiah Horton is a real X. Mario Craver was kind of banged up at the end of last year. The guy was, almost 1,000 yards. And then you've got the others, Terry Bussey, Aaron Gregor. There's a lot, right? So can the wide receiver crew be even better or about the same in your eyes?
Yeah, I think they can be better. I think they can be better because I think Marcel's going to be better too. The run game, I feel good about. I think y'all do too. Again, you win. It's very hard in the sport of football, which is the ultimate team sport, to be able to win a national title or win an SEC title with just one guy per position group that can really do it. You got to beat people with depth. Everybody knows that, but especially as a guy that coached DBs for a long time, it's just like guarding guys in basketball. The more three-point shooters you have, the less people I can double. So you look at Bethel Roman, you talk about Horton, obviously Mario Craver, who runs way bigger than what he is after the catch, which probably gets him in trouble, gets him hurt a decent amount. But yeah, I just look at this A&M team and I see depth across the board. I see answers to questions. I don't see a lot of weaknesses. I believe in the offensive line. I know there's some out there that don't, but I actually think this A&M offense is going to be the best one that Elko's had.
Let me ask you that. Why do you believe in the offensive line? Is it because of Adam Cushing and, of course, on top of that, Coach Elko?
Yeah, I just don't think y'all recruit bad players up front. I don't. I just don't. I watch those guys move around. I see what you return. I see what you've added. The coaching, again, I trust Elko to put a staff around him. I feel good about it. I don't question the ability. Now, again, how well do those guys mesh together and gel together? We're going to have to see that because there are some unknowns, but I do know you were talented. I do know that, I don't have to be Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye the Science Guy to figure out you're big enough to handle it. So I just think that they have good enough players and it's going to work out with an experienced quarterback. And you didn't have to change the verbiage of your offense even though your OC left. I think that's big too.
Talking to Jake Crain here on TexAgs Live. All right, Jake, let's go around the SEC, some of the other bigger schools. Georgia, are they going to be your typical Georgia team? I know they have to replace a lot on offense, but I give, like you give credit to Elko, I give credit to Kirby. Whatever he has to do, he gets it done.
Yeah. Yeah, Georgia's going to be really good. I don't think a lot of people realize last year Georgia struggled rushing the passer, which is weird. It's weird at Georgia. I don't expect that to be a problem again. You talk about offensive line. They may have the best offensive line in the country when it comes down to it. And Gunnar Stockton, great college quarterback, right? The Mike Winchell of our time. He ain't playing in the league. He's not. This is it. This is Gunnar Stockton's going to do this. May go hold a clipboard for a couple years, and he's probably going to go be a head high school coach somewhere in South Georgia. So I love the way this team's put together. I will most likely have them in the SEC title game on Monday on Crain and Cone.
All right, Texas, very difficult schedule. All the talent in the world. Cam Coleman can jump over DKR. What's going to happen with Texas this year?
I think they definitely make the playoff. I think they beat Ohio State at home. What I'm really intrigued to see about with Texas is the philosophical and ideological change defensively with Will Muschamp, as opposed to when they had Pete. Pete's a lot more conservative. They're not going to pressure as much. It's kind of like a spider. They wait for you to go into the web, and Muschamp's really kind of like Spider-Man. He shoots the web at you. So I actually think this Texas team is going to be a lot more explosive defensively than they were last year. And they were good. It's just kind of a different methodology. I don't know how, regardless if you love them, hate them, or you're indifferent about them, you could look at that roster and say, oh, well, they're still going to be, they're going to miss the playoff. I'm just not seeing it. I think they make the college football playoff. They'll have a top 5 team in the country, and we'll see if that's good enough.
So, Jake, when we talk about Alabama, I struggle with them because, they faltered at the end of last season. Kalen DeBoer does win big games. They couldn't run the ball. They got a different offensive line. They've got, so how do we make sense of the Alabama situation?
Well, there's a lot of unknowns. I do think Ty Simpson was an anomaly last year because, again, Alabama couldn't run the ball. I still don't think people, and you're kind of seeing it, how good he is with the Rams now, but understand how good Ty had to be for them to do even what they did last year, which to the Alabama standard isn't far enough or isn't good enough. Here's where I worry about Alabama. And I don't worry in the first 5 games. They'll start out 5-0. Yeah, they had those teams beat at birth. I worry about the ingredients and that go into the recipe. New quarterback, new offensive line that has struggled. That if one of those two things doesn't work, the whole thing doesn't work. If both of those things don't work, it's a disaster. If both of them work, that's great, but what are the odds of that actually happening? And by working, I meaning being above average, not just being okay. It looks like Keelan Russell's going to win the job. I do think he can cover up some things on the offensive line a little bit more than Austin Mack because, the dichotomy of those two are pretty different. I think Alabama's 9-3. I don't think Alabama makes the playoff.
Jake, Ole Miss. Conventional wisdom would make you think, of course they're going to take a step back. Does Trinidad Chambliss take a step back?
No, hell no. No, he doesn't step back. The only time he steps back is when he drops back. The defense at Ole Miss is nobody's. And again, I people will say, oh, well, Pete Golding there, he's a defense guy. Of course the defense is going to be better. I know they lost Prince to LSU, but they got some cats on this defense now. Eccles first-round pick, and they got a couple more that I think down the road are going to be really special. I love their linebacking core. I love what they have in the secondary. Everybody's going to talk about the offense, but the defense should be like 2024-ish is the term that's being thrown around, and I believe it because you got the personnel to do it. Now, their schedule is tough. Name me a better duo, though. Nuno, name me a better duo in the backfield than Trinidad and Kewan Lacey with an offensive line that returns, I think, 4 of 5. Maybe 3 of 5, but you've added on really, really well in the portal too on an offensive line that could really run the ball last year. I think Ole Miss, I got them 10-2, and they could possibly find themselves in the SEC championship game.
Jake, last thing for you, and it's not an SEC question, but just your thoughts on Miami and your thoughts on Notre Dame. Those two teams, almost you could have switched them for the playoffs. Miami gets to the championship game. Notre Dame went to the championship game the year prior. Where are you on both of those?
Well, look, I think the narrative of, their schedules aren't very tough, so they can really just not be that good and they'll still make it. I'm not saying their schedules are tough compared to the ones we just talked about, but these teams are really, really good. I mean, what I think Miami offensively is only going to be better. I think Mintz is better than Beck. I think he opens things up more, at least at the college game, at the collegiate level right now, and then definitely, I think, at the professional level once he's ready to go. I trust a Mario Cristobal offensive line like I trust a Lane Kiffin quarterback, like I trust a Brent Venables defense, like I trust a Mike Elko's team to do things the right way. It's just kind of ingrained, and it is what it is. Notre Dame, where's their weakness? The difference with Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman now is the athletes are athletic enough and they're deep enough where they can beat anybody they play. This isn't, we got a really good offensive line, but we got a bunch of 4.6s, that cook good and are funny. That's not what they have anymore. They got guys running around like we got guys running around down here in the SEC. So I think, Bud, there's a reason. The numbers are there. Are they going to be a little bit more well-rested? Probably when they get into the playoff. Notre Dame for sure because they don't have a conference championship game. But Miami should run through the ACC like dysentery through the Oregon Trail. So I believe both those teams are as good as anybody in the country, and they can both win it, and they both deserve everybody's respect.
Jake, you're the best, man. Thanks for making a few minutes. I appreciate you.
All right, bro. Y'all be good. Listen, a lot of hate out there for Texas A&M. Come on home to Crain and Cone. Come on home. We'll treat you right. We'll leave the light on for you.
Appreciate you, Jake.
See you, buddy.
Later, man. Jake Crain there on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. When we come back on TexAgs Live, do I address the ASU fan who entered the chat? Do I address it?
I think we address it.
It's so beneath us, but I like going beneath.
Yeah. Sometimes you can pick your fights, and I think
it's not even a fight.
It's not even a fight.
It's just weird. It's just
troll behavior.
But it's just loserish. But it's not fine. I'm part of the loser community now if I go down, right?
You go to the loser meetings?
If they go low, we go high. I go low. We'll have that on the other side. Right now, we're talking Paragon Financial Advisors. When it comes to your money and your peace of mind, it starts with the right team. That right team is Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They are an independent fiduciary firm serving clients all across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have a team of 18 professionals that includes over 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA, and their expertise runs deep at Paragon. Credentials matter. So does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promised technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer. I love that the YouTubers and I think the Texers get my inside joke, even though I've described it when people mispronounce my name, that I do it right back at them.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's a good bit.
It's TexAgs Live. All right, guys, so I apologize. I told you I'm just going to address things because it's fun. It's an open segment. We got a couple of minutes. Got an ASU fan whose feelings are hurt because we're doubting ASU.
Apparently.
I don't remember talking about Arizona State. Okay? I don't. Sorry, I don't. But let me just explain how this works. When an opposing fan goes on another fan site, if I were to go to the equivalent to Arizona State TexAgs, which I doubt they have anything equivalent to us.
There's not.
Poverty. Although it's a great area. I'm kidding. I would probably be met with resistance from their fans about A&M being better than ASU. Probably.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Jake may have said it should be a win. I think that's what Jake said on the show. Should be a win. This is how it also works. One team is ranked. One team isn't. One team that is ranked plays at home. Most people tend to give that team the win in the early preseason with unknowns. That's typically how it works.
Typically.
Nowhere have we said on this show, but this gentleman or lady or child, I don't know what it is. I don't want to answer a question. Maybe it's a bot. Keeps saying you guys are doubting us. I don't know what that means because you don't register.
Yeah.
I think Kenny Dillingham is an awesome head coach. I love him. Yeah. I think his personality, I know that he had to go in the portal and recreate that roster. I give him a lot of credit. But oftentimes when you recreate a roster, you just don't know. I think that's fair for LSU. I think it's fair for many teams. You just don't know. You don't know how it's going to work. You might have the best running back quarterback duo in the country. I think he said that. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Right?
I don't think so.
The former Kentucky quarterback, maybe he is all-world at ASU. I don't know. Bowley, right?
Cutter
Bowley. He might be all-world. I don't know. Is that a game that has my attention? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guess what? Most of the games on that schedule, South Carolina, they went 2-10 last year, right? No, Arkansas went 2-10. South Carolina was 4-8.
4-8,
right? Yeah. Both of those teams have my attention.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to tell you why those teams have my attention. And ASU, I think, is a quality program. I think Kenny's done a phenomenal job. But why do they have my attention? Well, I think winning in the SEC is hard. I think going to South Carolina is hard. Kentucky's got my attention. Why do they have my attention? Well, I don't know their roster well enough, right?
Yeah.
I don't know their roster. They might be really good. Kenny Minchie coming from Notre Dame, he could have won the starting job is what I keep hearing at Notre Dame. Okay. It's going to be early in the season, so I don't know. Are they going to try some things that I know they have Alabama the week before us. I think they have a very tough game before A&M. But regardless.
They have Alabama.
That being said, I just don't know, right? ASU, I don't know. But the facts still remain. Kyle Field, returning quarterback, and perceived more 5-stars or proven.
Yeah.
Right? That does not always equate a win. This is not guaranteed.com. This is TexAgs.com. We say things from an A&M perspective. If I were to go to an Arizona State site, I would expect them to do it from an Arizona State perspective. But, bro, you don't register right now. You're not a thought. Right? The thought right now is, can the offensive line, it's not even about an opponent yet.
Mm-mm.
It's about, can the offensive line do what it needs to do? Can the defensive line do what it needs to do? Has Marcel taken the right steps? Is that the first real challenge of the season? Yes.
Yeah.
Credit. There you go.
Yeah.
Do we think it's as hard as going to South Bend?
No.
Last year? No.
No way.
I don't think it's as hard. Does that mean it's a guaranteed win for a program? No, it doesn't work that way. We're Aggies, we know, right? So just when you come to a show and you don't expect the host to acknowledge, I'm the loser who acknowledges, and I will talk to you about it, right? I like derailing the 20 segment sometimes because it gives us something to chit-chat about. Was I right or wrong on anything that I said? You can tell me.
Yeah, I would say that you are right. And Arizona State, he's talking about, has the best running back wide receiver combo in the country, which I don't think is true, and I don't think anybody that isn't an Arizona State fan is going to sit here and tell you that, because when you lose Raleek Brown, your leading rusher, to an SEC school, and you lose Jordan Tyson, also your best receiver, that one at least went to the NFL, it's hard to have the best wide receiver running back duo in the country. And I think, like you said, A&M's questions are currently internal questions because, whenever we do start asking questions about opponents, more than likely it's going to start with Missouri State because they're week 1.
Yeah.
Now,
we're like Elko. We're just a week 1. You know,
how many questions we have about Missouri
Be where your
State?
feet are.
Yeah. How many questions we have about Missouri State is still to be determined.
But it is an inferiority complex.
It is.
When you go and say, you guys are doubting us. No, bro, we're not talking about you.
Yeah. And even if we are doubting you, we can justify doubting you because of the talent that you lost. You lost Sam Levitt. You lost Raleek Brown. You lost Jordan Tyson. Those are just on offense, and you're replacing them with Cutter Boley, who threw 12 interceptions in fewer amount of games than Marcel Reed did last year. You're losing your leading rusher and replacing him with guys from Villanova and Delaware State, not exactly premier programs, and then you lose decent wide receivers, replacing him with guys from Boston College, Colorado, and Washington, who didn't have the best of numbers.
Yeah. And this is not even about ASU. I'm telling you right now, 10 of those opponents have my attention.
Yeah.
Right? Like, legit.
10 of the 12.
10 of the 12 have my attention. That does not mean that I can't think that the team that I cover, that I see so well, right, that I can't think that they're better than some of those teams on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean...
And I have seen a team that's better lose to inferior teams. Like, I feel like I'm talking to an 8-year-old, not you. But, like, so ASU, who didn't even come up on the show, LSU, like, I understand why people think A&M would lose to LSU on the road.
Yes.
I'm not going to go to tigerbaitdroppings.com. Tiger bait droppings.
I think it's
Tiger droppings. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there and like, hey, you guys are doubting A&M. We went there and won last year. But anyway, sorry for the rant. Good radio, bad radio, doesn't matter.
I think it was good radio.
It's stupid. Anyway, when we come back on TexAgs Live, I want the people who haven't heard the Mario Craver interview. Like, can I be honest about something? I had never really spoken to Mario. I felt like we were best friends. Like, I was like, this is my dog. And I think that about everybody. Ask Nick. I come out after these interviews, you've been there, and I think he's my best friend. But he was so awesome. And the post that Kay, thank you for cutting some video for me to post yesterday of him, like his quiet confidence question that I gave him, his answer, like he just motivated me. So anyway, you're going to hear part of that interview, or maybe all of it. We'll see how the timing works out here on TexAgs Live. Right now, a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They are on Highway 21 in Caldwell and online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. If you're in the Bryan-College Station market and you're looking for your next vehicle, you owe it to yourself to make the drive out there to Caldwell Country Chevrolet, or just go to the website and see their awesome selection. They're stocked up and ready to deal on their vehicles, and I think you're going to love it. They have decades of experience here in this market, and they're going to find you the right price for your vehicle. They know how to structure a deal in a way that makes sense for you. And don't forget, every vehicle purchase comes with that free oil change for life, as long as you own that vehicle from Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Honest deals from people that you can trust here in the Brazos Valley. Remember, it's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan, to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. Hey friends, David Nuno here with the crew from Southern Charm Hospitality that brings you 3 awesome restaurants there at Century Square. We've got Hunter Ham and Hayden Bayer. All right, Hunter, I'm going to start off with you. Tell us about the awesome restaurants there at Century Square.
Yeah, so 3 different concepts, all with the focus of hospitality and caring about people. Red's Ice House, that's your burger and beer place. Ice House with an elevated food menu. Juanita's Tex-Mex Cantina, kind of upscale Tex-Mex with a little bit of seafood focus, really good margaritas, obviously. And then Porter's our flagship, Woodfire Steakhouse, upscale beverage program, huge wine list. All those amazing. We're always doing wine dinners at Porter's, tequila dinners, and we're hosting all kinds of events, company parties, and then rehearsal dinners. Then Hayden, at the end of the month, did you want to talk about Restaurant Week?
Yeah, so last week of this month, we're partnering with Visit College Station to do our take on Restaurant Week. So it's basically just a limited menu for all 3 restaurants. It's a little cheaper than normal, so if you've never tried one of the 3 restaurants, I think it's definitely a good week to come and just get a taste of the whole menu.
I'm excited, guys. Thank you very much. When you guys visit Century Square, make sure you go by Porter's Dining and Bar, Juanita's Tex-Mex Cantina, and Red's Ice House. All right, Mario Craver time here on TexAgs Live. Pay attention to the confidence, pay attention to his goals, and just pay attention to it all. Here's my conversation with Mario Craver. Hey everybody, and welcome into The Huddle, brought to you by TexAgs and United, presented by Light-Headed Helmets. Greatness deserves more than a place on a shelf. It deserves to shine, and that's why they have created the first full-size illuminated collectible helmet, bringing the legends, traditions, and teams that shaped your loyalty to life in a whole new way. Bring the pride of your favorite university home with an officially licensed light-headed illuminated helmet. Visit lightheadedhelmets.com today. Lightheaded, where greatness glows. We're joined by Mario Craver. Greatness is glowing in the studio. What's up, man?
What's good?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, one thing that jumps off the page for me, not that there's a paper involved, there's a confidence in you, but there's a quiet confidence when you walk into a room, when you play football.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from?
It's just me all my life. I've been doubted, and me just being a smaller guy, and I've always just kind of came out on the other side. I think I just got something to me, like God just gave me this ability to just come out on top. Like, and I always just carry confidence because at the end of the day, like I've always went by, never take a scared step, like never take one, like just because like taking a scared step may not go well. You always have confidence in what you're doing. You wouldn't be in the position if you weren't there.
Well, I don't think you're doubted anymore, right? Like, I feel like people recognize you as one of the top wide receivers in all of the game. Do you still feel a little doubted, or do you like holding on to that doubt?
Nah, I definitely still feel a little doubt, for sure. Yeah.
What do you hear that, because I see you on all these awards lists, we're talking about, before the interview, I'm like, you're going to get 1,200 yards this year.
Yeah.
Is this maybe some of the outside noise because of your size?
Yeah, a little bit of that, and me not ending the season the way I wanted to last year. And just a little bit of that, and me still having a little chip on my shoulder. Just from like me, I never was a high recruit coming out of high school, anything. I think I still have a lot to prove.
I think it's interesting you say it like that, because I don't think of you struggling down the stretch, and I don't think struggle's the right word, but I know that the team didn't reach the goals that you guys wanted.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you, Marcel, Coach Elko, there's a similar like vibe, like you guys are doubting us. We're about to show you what's up.
Yeah, like part of it comes with like how we ended the season, but like they don't really look at like how we started the season. Like we really don't get the respect. So like and I guess this is the A&M logo or something. I don't know, but we're gonna earn our respect here, and we're up for the challenge. We're up for anything. So yeah.
How nice is it going to be when you guys do win a national championship here, and you're a part of that process of all the people who have doubted this university, people who have doubted you, people who have doubted your quarterback? Like, how nice is it going to be able to walk away saying, "Look what we did"?
Yeah, it's gonna be very nice to actually win something meaningful here, because like that's all they preach on. We don't have any football trophies, like no SEC championship, no national championship, none of that. So like we have to get some hard work put in this school for sure.
So what about your time at A&M so far? What have you thought of, being here in Bryan College Station, being at Texas A&M, the traditions, the way people love you here? What have you thought about your time?
Honestly, like Texas A&M has molded me to who I am today. Like me coming from Mississippi State, like I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't like it at all. So like me coming here, like it really just molded me into exactly what I wanted to be. Like trusted Elko, trusted his plan when I came here, trusted Coach Wig.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like hindsight that he ended up getting the OC job. So like it's really just like all the dream come true, like a plan for us, like just God showing us, like just keep going.
How nice is it for Wig to be your guy now? I mean, he was your wide receiver coach, he was a co-offensive coordinator, but now it's his offense. Like, how nice has that been for you?
Yeah, that's been my dog ever since, like, people don't know, like, I've been knowing Wig ever since I was in the 9th, 10th grade. Like, he's been recruiting me even when I was at Bama. And it didn't work out when I was, like, in high school. And he came right at me when I hit the portal. So, like, that just shows the relationship we have. Like, and just for him to finally get the OC job and me knowing that that's something he want to do, and me being able to have his back, keep his job, and show that he's a good OC, like, it's something that I'm very excited for and very looking forward to.
One of the things I love about him is, like, he is smart. He's got swagger. He knows how to answer questions. He knows exactly what he wants to do with that offense. Like, it's a plan, and I think that fits great with Coach Elko.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he's been around a lot of great coaches. He was around Nick Saban. He had all those receivers at Bama that went to the draft. People don't even know, but like now he's creating his own thing here. There's a reason. He always tell us it's a reason why I left Bama to come here. Like I seen the Coach Elko. I seen the plan. I see everything. Like we can be special here, and this is all coming together.
He spoke very highly of you yesterday in the press conference. He talked about sometimes you play outside the lines. And he's challenging you in different ways. How's he challenging you?
Just learning different spots, like being able to like not be a liability anywhere, like just being able to move all around the field, be accessible anywhere on the field, running back, nub, tight end, outside receiver, anywhere, just knowing everything. And then when it comes to like just reading defenses, like and just understanding like the timing of the quarterback and where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be. And he's molded me into a great receiver, like, and he's taught a lot. Him and also Coach Perry, like Coach Perry, he teaches us a lot, like that people don't even know. Like he does a lot of work in that receiver room.
He's worked with a lot of dudes, Andre Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, you name it. He's worked with a lot of guys Coach Perry has. Going back to the offense, do you think we'll notice anything different about this offense this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like us this year, we're gonna play to Marcel's strengths. Like we're gonna get him out the pocket. We're gonna get him movement. Like we're gonna use our X receiver, big X receivers. We're gonna get the ball in Bussie's hands. We're gonna throw it deep to Ashton. Like we got a lot of plays. We got a lot of ways that we could really spread the ball. I don't think we really like spread the ball like we could last year. So like I think we have the opportunities to do that for sure this year.
Well, talk to me about your quarterback. How much of a step has he taken this fall camp?
Oh yeah, I seen him like just they gave him more control this year. Like and him just being more control, he had to take a big step and like just understanding what the defense is gonna give you. Like a lot of and in that game, like I see him improve a lot. Like just him being able to call like what protection he wants, like what coverage we're about to get, whatever routes he wants, he has the ability to check to wherever he wants. Like and he didn't have that ability last year. And I think to even have that ability, you have to be more smarter. You have to know like what's going to happen. So I think he's definitely like has gotten smarter on the pre-snap side.
What was your favorite play last year?
Favorite play? Definitely Notre Dame.
I was going to say.
I can't even lie.
Let me tell you why I don't know if you guys win that game without that play. Obviously, the Nate touchdown won the game. Like I recognize the greatness that play was. But if I'm remembering correctly, it was 7-0, and Notre Dame was punting. And then A&M was about to have to punt if you didn't convert.
Yeah.
And then you're off. You spin and you go. And like to me, that just like, all right, we're here.
Yeah, they definitely struck a momentum in us for sure because they end up getting like, I think it was a block punt. But right before that, like in a whole sideline was shook. And that just happens like in big games, big time players make big time plays. Like, and I think that momentum in a game is really crucial. And me being able to go out there and do that for the offense got us going.
I don't know if you know this, but when A&M played Mississippi State and you were with Mississippi State, we talked about you on the show.
Yeah.
Like I remember Olin, the gentleman I do the first hour with, he was like, that Mario, like this is before you were even in the thoughts of being an Aggie. Like you stood out. Do you remember that game and like, you feeling it?
I definitely remember that game because that was actually like my first like game that I actually like was out there and like playing the whole game and I ended up getting hurt. So like it was really like
bittersweet.
But but like that was my first game. I think I went out there. I had the most catches I ever had in the season, and I was having a really good game.
So you talked about some of the wide receivers. Talk about some of the young guys like Aaron, Madden. There's some guys that are they're competing to play. I mean, they may have to wait a little bit, but they're competing.
Yeah, our young guys are amazing. Like when I look at them and I look at me as a freshman, like they are way ahead of where I was. Like,
is that right?
When it comes to like just like understanding what they're doing, like and them being able to learn from me, like not making it. I tell them not make the same mistake twice, and you're gonna be better than you ever was, like ever thought you could be. Like, and I just pride them on like them going out there working hard every day. Like they keep their head down. Them some hard workers like AG, Madden, Jaden, Mike, all those boys, TK, Kelshawn, all of them. They're all amazing guys. Like, and them being able to be behind me and Zay and Terry and Ashton, I think we're great role models for them, and I think that's going to play a big part in it too. Because me being a freshman, I know like I didn't really have any receivers that I could look up to. I kind of had like I had a receiver, Kevin Coleman, that, like when we was at Mississippi State. But other than that, like I really didn't have anyone to look up to, and just me being able to be that guy for them, I know how much it's going to help them and how much it's going to help their game.
So the first week of camp, everybody was talking about Terry.
Yeah.
But you've seen it happen. I mean, you probably saw it even happen last year. But like mentally physically he feels better. Mentally he feels better, right? You see it.
Yeah, definitely. It's coming. It's all coming together for Terry. You can see it definitely. Like he's starting to put the release with the top of the route, with the top of the catch. Like he's going to go get the ball aggressively. Like he's really doing a great job. And like we always do what Terry had to shoe. Notre Dame, he took the kick return back.
Yeah.
Like we all know what Terry got. It's just the timing. Everybody's timing different.
Last thing from a football perspective, I got another question I want to ask you, but from a football perspective, how much better are you going against the secondary that Coach Elko spoke so highly about?
Oh yeah, like them, they every day we're going at it. Like it's never a day where I'm just getting off on them or they're just getting off on us. Like every day is very competitive. Like, and like I think that right there, like it shows like that we're the best in the country. Like, because like not too many people can go out there and guard man, like guard me man on man. Like our DBs, they can do that. Like, and them just being able to do that, and me being able to like read the coverages, like us having we have so many DBs that we can play, like, and so we get so many different packages, like all that, like this is gonna help me a lot.
Are you a trash talker?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Do you start it, or is it if they say something, then you get going?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of the starter.
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
Like, what do you say? Like, gotcha.
Yeah, if I beat you bad, I'm gonna let you hear it. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because you do seem kind of quiet, but when you talk, you talk.
Yeah.
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 So I got a question. Obviously, that helmet means so much tradition-wise. I love the light-headed helmets. When you think about traditions surrounding Texas A&M football, what do you think this community, this program, that logo, that helmet, why is it different than other places?
It's really just the culture. Like this town, when I moved here, like when it came to football, like you like just felt it being different. Like just the culture, like the way they love football, the way they support us here is just very different. Like I never experience like that anywhere else. And I think everyone who's been a part of the culture, they can tell like that it's different here.
You can tell right now too, right? Starting to feel like football season,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Mario, I can't wait to see you do great things this year. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Mario Craver here in studio. My good friend Mario Craver came here because he's a good dude. All right, we'll hit a break. When we come back on TexAgs Live, we'll tap dance, then Billy will be here. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Hour in 10 minutes or so. Milliken Reserve time. Farm to table in College Station community. They have homes, they got trails, they got farms, they got wide open spaces, and they have a mission to build a healthy community around nature. 2,600 acres of open space. It's awesome when you go there. You got the 30 miles of trails. You like to go trailing? There you go. They got awesome homes as well. And speaking of those trails, these are an extensive network throughout a wooded landscape that includes walking and equestrian paths, you name it. All the animals that you can imagine make their homes there at Milliken Reserve, from the white-tailed deer to the songbirds to the rabbits to the turtles. And homeowners sharing a legacy of conservation, which means generation after generation, you're coming back to that pristine countryside place. If you want to learn more about it, go to millikenreserve.com. That is millikenreserve.com. Check it out. Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever. And also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group. And they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs. And remember, gig 'em. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That is at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls, reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. That's where we find Reese Nygren, who's going to tell us what's popping on TexAgs today.
Yeah, as a reminder, you can become a TexAgs premium subscriber, and this is just some of the things that we have on TexAgs today. NIL interviews with safety Dalton Brooks, kicker David Alano, and defensive lineman Marco Jones are on the site. A new episode of The Set where Kay sits down with Volley Minds Steven Henson to preview the Ags trip to Milwaukee as part of the AVCA First Serve this weekend. Around the SEC and 3 things from the man himself, Jason Howell. Later today and this weekend, we will have football press conference and a column from OB. That will come later today. Tomorrow, we will have Saturday practice snippets from Olin Buchanan, coverage of volleyball's two top 12 matchups this weekend versus number 7 Louisville tonight and number 12 SMU on Sunday. Soccer coverage from their home opener for Bobby Shuttleworth's squad taking on Sam Houston at 8 p.m. on Saturday. And then we'll have some more NIL interviews with Robert Bourdon and TK Norman.
Good stuff there. What else can we get into here in the last minute, 22 seconds?
Yeah, so I know we don't want to keep talking about this Arizona State guy.
No, we've moved on from that, yeah.
But we did get a text talking about how an SMU fan saying that he said, lifelong fan and alum of SMU, but this station and programming is centered on that school at the corner of Texas and University. I wouldn't begin to expect TexAgs to give props to the Mustangs. Arizona State is going to play the Aggies, and we'll see how that turns out.
By the way, where's TexAgs located at? The corner of George Bush
and
Welborn, which is on the opposite side of what he had mentioned, right? So we're on the other side of Texas A&M. So I wonder why we talk about it. Oh, because our name is TexAgs. All right, so we'll do this. Hour number 3 coming up. Billy Liucci will stop by. We'll chit-chat with Billy. Got a lot of good stuff to get into with Billy, I hope. I think it'll be a very good hour. And, we'll get to your text messages there on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line, 979-693-1150. You're listening to the world-famous, especially on the West Coast, TexAgs Live. When I think of this song, I think of Nick Savage. This is one of his favorites. It's TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number 3 of the program. Billy Liucci should be with us here soon, I would assume. And Reese Nygren, Angry Elephant News and Social Center. So yesterday, I don't know what time it happened. I just remember seeing it like, I found the timing odd about Brent Venables getting an extension. What was it, 6-year deal?
Yeah, Brent Venables signed to a 6-year extension with the Sooners that is expected to pay him $10.6 million annually, which would put him among the top 10.
Okay. Here's my question for that. How much time was left on his deal?
That's a good question.
Because I'm trying to understand the timing behind it. Like, why now? They may have their reasons, and it may make sense. I just don't understand, why this is happening now. I understand, mid-season, sometimes you're 7-0, right? Like last year. Coach Elko, didn't he get his extension right before?
It was right before the South Carolina game, I believe.
Right, which the timing could have been terrible, but it worked out great. Anyway, I understand sometimes you do things because, hey, man, things are trending in a great direction. Coaches are going to call our guy. I don't know if anybody was calling Brent Venables today. I don't think so. I don't know why I used a Valley Girl accent there, but I don't think so. Possible, I guess. But I just don't understand the timing behind it. If you think Clemson is going to go after Venables and bring him back home, right? If you think, all right, Dabo is going to go down this terrible path again, and I don't think they're going to get rid of Dabo. Now I need to go look at their schedule, see how bad they could potentially be. But I don't think Clemson is firing Dabo this year. I just can't see that happening. But stranger things have occurred. So, how much time was left on his deal before?
So, I believe what I've been reading, his contract would go through 2029. So they essentially paid an extra 2 years to get him to 2031 onto his contract.
Okay, that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous. That being said, I'm sure there's reasons, right? If we were listening to an Oklahoma show, I'm surprised David Edmond hasn't piped in on this. We'd know, okay, that's the reason. Because I remember when Jimbo got his extension. Everybody's right. Mm-hmm. He did not need to get that extension at that time.
Nope.
But I understood the reasons behind it. Do you remember what those reasons were?
I do not fully remember what those reasons were.
LSU was going to go after him. Right? They wanted Jimbo Fisher.
Yep.
So and was that the 21 season? I think it was the 21 season. I might be wrong, but I think it was the 21 season. Anyway, I understood it. Turned out to be the wrong move.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the right move. That turned out to be the wrong move.
Would you say that it is too early?
Hey, hold on. Let me just say that real quick. Sorry. And this was, let's not forget that happened. If my timeline's correct, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the 21 season. You can double check that. That happened with 2020 being just a few months behind the Orange Bowl victory. So remember where everybody was at that time. A&M should have been in the playoffs. Top 4 team in the country. They go 9-1 with an all SEC schedule. They beat North Carolina in the Orange Bowl game. Timing-wise, the strike while the iron's hot. That's why they did it, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
August 31st, 2021 was when that contract was signed.
So I get it, right? It turned out to be the wrong decision at the time, in my opinion, but I understood it. I understood the timing. For this one, I don't know.
And in his 4 years at Oklahoma, he has a career record of 32-20, which includes 0-4 in bowl games / the college football playoff.
Okay,
10-3 seasons are the two up, and then I think he went.
But not all 10-3 seasons are the same when you play in the Big 12.
Yes, this is true. So my question to you is it too early for them to give him that big of an extension, considering he's only made the playoffs one time?
I don't think it's too early. Because he's been there, 5 years?
This will be his 5th year, yes.
Yeah. So I don't think it's too early. I personally would need to see more. They have a daunting schedule this year.
They do.
What if they go 6-6? I don't think they're going to.
I don't think so.
But I guess my point is, if they are 8-4 or worse, are you going to feel good about that extension?
No. If they go 8-4 or worse, I don't think I'd feel great about that extension because that means that you essentially lost 4 of your 5 big games. But yeah, to answer your question, if they go 8-4 or worse, I would not feel great that I just made that head coach one of the 10 highest paid.
I will also say this. I think sometimes it's about what it feels like. Like with Coach Elko, it feels like, not just here in College Station, arrows are pointing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Venables, last season was a really good season for them. So maybe that's the feeling. But I feel like with him, they're still like, I got to see more, which is weird entering your 5th season.
Yeah.
I've got to see more.
Well, one trend that Brent Venables is actually trying to buck is the roller coaster kind of career that he's had at Oklahoma. First year, they went 6-6, lost in the Cheez-It Bowl. Next year, they go 10-3, lose the Alamo Bowl. So technically went 10-2. Right. Then they followed up with another 6-6 season. And then obviously last year, they went 10-2, lost in the playoffs. So history is telling us that this year for Oklahoma may not be as kind as they might think it is up in Norman.
But you know what? I don't like to look at history like that because those, when you're pointing at Oklahoma with that history recently, you can point at A&M with the other 3 fingers and say, well, what about your history about, doubling down? And that is the question for Texas A&M. Now, A&M could have a less than stellar year, which I'm not predicting that to be the case. And I would still feel like I'm glad that Coach Elko got his extension because I do think he's the right guy. I don't know what the feeling is in Norman. Like, I just feel like every year it's a different, they were good. Oh, now they're not so good. Now they're good. Now they're so good. Right? So those guys had an accent too.
I don't know what kind of accent it was, but they had.
Billy calls my accents Kermit the Frog. I don't think I sound like Kermit the Frog.
I don't think so.
Kermit is more like this. It's like,
that's actually really good.
Thank you.
It's a pretty good Kermit.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Kermit. Anyway, I thought the timing was odd. It's whatever. He's going to bring a great defense. Maybe he has grown as a head coach, potentially. I mean, they had a good year last year.
They did.
With a hard schedule.
And they return a decent amount of production. Obviously, Mateer and Satania, they return what was one of the best defenses and one of the best secondaries in the entire country. Obviously, they lost R. Mason Thomas to the NFL, but they return a lot of guys, brought in a lot of good transfers. So I would think that the vibes are pretty high up in Norman, and I feel like we hear a lot in the media about just how good Oklahoma will be this year.
They might be.
They could be really good.
They might be as good as everybody says. But again, I just want people to evaluate with the same kind of thinking that they do for one team for the other. And I think that's very hard to do because there are these the historical context plays a role in people's evaluations of teams. There's like who they root for, who they don't root for. All right. So anyway, there's those reasons for why people do what they do. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Read the text so I can pull up the a Paragon thing or a spot.
So one thing real quick, I'll kind of shift. Brad Crawford of CBS Sports gave his bowl predictions, and he has Oklahoma making the Gator Bowl playing against Clemson. So I think if that is how the Oklahoma Sooners season plays out in 2026 after this contract extension, I think people will kind of be a little hesitant on that Brent Venables extension.
Well, that's an 8-4, 9-3 type of year.
Yeah. I would lean probably more 8-4, but yeah, again, it depends what that 8-4 looks like because not all 8-4s are the same.
All right, we'll hit a break. When we come back on TexAgs Live, Billy Liucci will be in studio. We will get Billy for as long as possible or right till 11 a.m. Right now, when you're craving authentic Italian food, there's one place that brings the tradition, the flavor, and the family together. That is Fratella Italian Cafe. They are family owned and they serve up all your favorites from homemade dishes every day using recipes passed down through generations like the signature Fratella, right? Fratella, fried to golden perfection and stuffed with marinara, mozzarella, and your choice of fillings. They have lasagna, beef cannelloni. They have fettuccine alfredo. They have, I made that Latina. They have crispy pizza. They have the Fratella Copper Dome Pizza Oven. Stop in for daily lunch specials or let them cater your next event. It is Fratella Italian Cafe on Texas Avenue in Bryan. More than a meal, guess what? It's a tradition. And we are back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It's time for lunch with Liucci, Billy Liucci, the executive editor and co-owner of TexAgs, in studio. We got some breaking news over the break.
What is it?
I can't eat a banana like that.
Yeah, I want you to try it.
No, there's zero chance.
We've already discussed it. I haven't touched it.
I don't eat bananas like that. That's my
What do you
family. The bananas I like are greenish to yellow. I don't do.
Reese, can you come here?
There's zero chance.
No one in the back would try this. I was eating it, and I haven't touched it. Like I've been holding it like this. Like this, Reese. Look.
You're one of those that like peels it off.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
I don't think you're my.
here's why I think you can go over there and have a bite of it. Have all of it.
Why? Why do you want somebody
I think
to
it's the perfectly ripened banana, and there's not a spot on it. And Zane said it was too soft, and I don't think so. And I think anything harder than that is weird.
Pretty good banana.
Pretty good banana, right?
I know.
I'm
gonna finish the rest of this.
Vehemently disagree. I don't eat bananas like that at all. I want mine like right when you get them from the store, not green, but like a shade of green, yellow. I want it firm.
You're more of a. They're laughing in the back.
They were laughing at you earlier.
No, yeah.
It was a louder laugh for yours.
You know what I just figured out?
What's that?
I figured it out. You're more of a plantain guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely team plantain. Yeah, pataneros maduros.
You look like you're dressed like a plantain, or maybe I am. What's more of a plantain color?
I could be a waiter at a Cuban restaurant with this shirt, no doubt.
What's the breaking news?
Oh, sorry.
It was so important that the banana.
The banana was. Why do I feel like I don't hear you?
I don't know.
Oh, you're back.
There we go. So some quasi-breaking news. Luke Evangelist reporting the NCAA's stay in the Colorado preliminary injunction has been granted by the 10th Circuit, meaning every fifth year that hasn't already won a court case is deemed ineligible. Jordan Pope is still eligible because of the temporary restraining order that he won in California. Rylan Griffin is ineligible because he's not listed in a state court case yet. So sounds like Rylan Griffin could in the future be granted eligibility, but as of today, Rylan Griffin is currently ineligible for college basketball.
Interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how they manage to keep guys like him, which there are a lot of them in that boat, ineligible. Because how on earth, I just don't see how lawyers, high-powered lawyers worth their salt could not get around that. Once other players in a similar situation are eligible. That seems far-fetched. I'm obviously not a lawyer, nor do I care to dive too deep into that because my name's not Ross Dellinger. I let Ross do all that work for us, and that's why we're all so informed. But no, great news on Pope. B, yeah. I want to go tie that more, and A&M does have one, or they could have a roster spot. So what I'm talking about more, what I want to dive into more specifically is the football side of this, because it's right here, right now. And I know y'all talked about it probably yesterday.
We did.
This stuff about, whether it's Jack Pyburn or, LSU is about to get a lot better, guys. I hate to break it to anyone that doesn't see this coming. But unless Greg Sankey stops it within the SEC and somehow implements this school-to-school transfer thing, they're likely to get Pyburn back, who had 2 sacks last weekend for Tampa Bay. And I don't think he's great, but I think I'd love to have a guy with his level of experience come and add to this D-end room. And they're about to get him. And then there's 3 players from Ole Miss, including, I think, a badass tight end in Daquan Wright, which he's going to end up at LSU if they allow it, even though they've got Trey'Dez Green. So now imagine what that happens with that offense when you add those 2 guys. That is going to be, you talk about weapons for Sam Levitt, for Lane Kiffin to 12. He's going to get them. And then they've got, and I don't know much about his situation, but they had a giant defensive tackle. You have his, and I always forget his name, is Q, I think they call him, but giant defensive tackle in the 340-pound range that also got that granted. And again, 3 of these guys were either starters or significant players for Ole Miss. I think it was a safety, a D tackle, and this tight end receiver hybrid. And then Pyburn being at LSU. Like in Pyburn's case, or no, that's the basketball player for Will Wade that's getting tried by the Baton Rouge judge who went to Southern University, which is essentially LSU's campus. So, anywho, a team that A&M plays
it's going to get better.
Is very likely to get Imagine if, I'm not saying they would, but imagine if they add like 4, but imagine just 3 of those 4.
3 NFL level players.
NFL level, whether they made a team or not, they're like right on the cut line and have played a ton of college football. Reese, what do you?
Xavier Harris.
Yeah, Xavier.
And then Wyatt Williams.
Wyatt Williams is a DB.
Yeah. And then Daquan Wright.
On the show yesterday, we talked about it from an A&M perspective. First off, I don't like them being able to come back.
I don't either, but where do you draw your where's your moral compass?
My moral compass is what makes A&M better.
So you were okay with with Warren coming to play basketball?
No, I wasn't.
No, see, I was.
Well,
you're okay with.
I'm okay with it if other teams are doing it.
I know.
I don't like
agree.
it for the spirit.
No, I
of the
agree
game.
with you. But like I'm saying, like we're okay with that. We were okay with Aggie getting that 6th year. We would be okay if Le'Veon Moss were healthy and came back to play running back at A&M.
If Torian didn't make a team.
If Torian decided, man, I'm not going to make it, I'm coming back. We'd be okay with that because it's like you said, it's helping your team. You can be okay with it because it is just the world of college football right now, but you can also have a distaste for the world of college football right now.
Yep.
Like I want Mike Elko to win. I want Bucky to win. I want Mike Early to win. You know, Jamie, Trisha, all of them. You want these coaches to win. You might not like the way the sport is right now, but it's kind of like, I don't like, if you didn't like free agency in the NFL, is that going to make you not watch it? No, you'll get used to it. But this is a danger, I think, to the game. Because it's just nothing, they can't stop anything. So, like, where is the line? And I truly am like, it really gets to like, why can't, and trust me, and when I say he's in no shape to come back, we were joking the other day, he said he's got to get more in shape to up his golf game. But like, why couldn't Johnny Manziel come back and play 2 years of college football at this point? I know how stupid that sounds. I know how ridiculous a thought that is, but like where they haven't drawn a line yet. Why are they going? What makes you think they're going to draw a line when a lawyer gets involved or a court? Where is it?
There is no line.
Because there doesn't seem to be one. And every day it gets worse. So I think this one, to me, is where I think you're starting to see more and more. I don't see how some of these jackasses around college sports that try to be like, they're covering every program and they do every single thing that has to do with the sport. And they write Seattle Seahawks running back Reese Nygren plans to enter the transfer portal.
It's ridiculous.
Like, how in the hell do you enter the transfer portal from the NFL?
I think
how do you say that without? You should have to put a disclaimer with an asterisk saying, "Hey, by the way, I think this is the dumbest bleep ever."
Am I right, Reese? He had to put himself in the transfer portal before, earlier.
Yeah.
Before, and then he went to the NFL.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to me. It's how these guys has entered the transfer portal. Tampa Bay defensive end, Jack Pyburn has entered the transfer portal. Like, it's just when you say it, at least be like, listen, I know how stupid this is, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. Like, Sports Center should have to do that. Everyone, hey, I know this sounds the dumbest crap you've ever heard in sports, but California Angel outfielder Mike Trout has entered the transfer portal. He's going to play at Texas A&M this fall for Mike Early. Like, it's gotten to be just flat out crazy.
So how do they have roster spots? Like, how does that work?
I think a lot of teams have a spot or two. B, I mean, in the day and age of NIL, I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody with a little more that studied this more, but why can't they be walk-on?
I guess they could, but then I'm thinking to myself, what about all the people who thought they were going to play?
Can get NIL money.
Can you imagine, like, all fall camp, you're the guy, and, like, you're playing well, and all of a sudden, Pyburn's there, and he
Well, I thought about that, too, because it's like...
What does that do to your locker room?
Like, imagine, say, like, A&M tomorrow added Pyburn. Again, I don't think he's, like, that great. He's a solid player. He adds depth, and I don't know that he would start at A&M. I think they were recruiting he and Searcy at the same time 2 years ago out of Florida, off the same defensive ends. But he would certainly play a lot and add depth. But yeah, he's coming in that room midway through camp, and it's not even like he's a guy that left and came back. But like, take for example, I'll make a better example would be like Torian or Le'Veon. They have friends, like their friends are on this team. The players know how good they are. They know they help. But you can't tell me that wouldn't be a weird feel if tomorrow Moss is out there and within a week he's getting first team carries over guys like Morrow and Ruben.
Yeah.
Or same thing with Torian. Like, okay, you got Sanford back and Coney's done a great job, and Noah McHale and Lockhart have had good camps, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's this guy that started for 3 years, and in their mind they're like, well, I know they're going to start him over me. He started for 3 years. He was the captain. And that's on the coaches to have to figure that out, because at the same time, and I'm not, by the way, we're not saying I'm in no world do I think Torian York's coming back. And haven't heard anything about it, don't foresee it, and that's not Torian York. He's trying to make the NFL. But if this is completely hypothetical to prove a point, though, yeah, that would cause, and that's with a guy that's like a beloved team guy.
Yeah.
Forget about if you brought in,
Somebody from another team.
Xavier guy from Ole Miss, and just Xavier Harris, and just plopped him into the D tackle room tomorrow. Somebody's getting bumped, and everybody's getting bumped down if the guy's that good. But at the same time, if you're a coach and that opportunity presents itself, and you can better a room or get a starting player that's better than your starters, like, you better be really good politically to handle that.
Who else could this? What other team could affect A&M based on this? You mentioned LSU.
I don't know.
I haven't seen.
Do you have another one? Like, I mean, the LSU one jumps out because 3 of them are Ole Miss and 1 of them's LSU. Do you really think that this isn't orchestrated? You think that
Lane Kiffin didn't reach
magically?
out?
Yeah, Lane Kiffin is behind all of this, and it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, like you say, it's going to be Trey'Dez Green might be like, I get it, too tight, but like, I might have gone somewhere else if I'd have known this.
Yeah.
But Lane, there's enough footballs to go around, and he'll convince him of that. But again, that's where but my point is, this is 1,000% cooked up by Kiffin and LSU to get this to happen. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you can't see the timing of all that, or not the timing, but just those names, and realize what's about to happen. If I'm Ole Miss, man, they have got to win that game, and they've got to storm the field, and they've got to make that the most miserable night of Lane Kiffin's professional life, and taunt LSU till the end of time, or not till the end of time, because what I'm getting at is, I just unfortunately, I'd love to see the Kiffin thing fail, but I don't think it will, because he's too good of a point producing coach. He's too good of with these new rules. He's gonna do whatever the hell it takes. And again, that's not a knock. That's a fact. He's gonna do whatever the hell it takes, and then he's gonna win there. And I don't know that Ole Miss can sustain it once Chambliss and Lacey are gone. I don't know if Pete Golding's that guy. So they better get him this year.
Well, and to circle back to an A&M perspective, I don't like it, but I want A&M to do everything in their power to not lose games because other teams did this, right? Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, no one's got time for excuses.
Yeah, so
you're not going to be like, oh, well, they did that. We didn't do it. Well, you should have. You should have tried.
We'll hit a break.
The good news is Mike Elko, is on top of and is out in front of any of these like rules and rules changes as you can possibly be, as they seem to come out every day. And I'm not saying they're going to have any guys like that. And to be honest, I've yet to hear of one. But if they could, they would, and they wouldn't be scared to do it if it was going to make the team better.
Yeah. All right. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with 25 and 25. Right now, we're talking Bubba's 33. And it's a great place to go to get your bites on. Well, I went 2 Fridays ago. It was fantastic. I love the wings. I love the burgers. I'm going to have the pizza. I've been telling you that. And they got stuff all the time. They have $5 drink specials every day, so they don't need a happy hour special. When you go there, $5 drink specials all day, every day. On Mondays, the $10.99 burgers. That's all day. Tuesday, the $11.99 pizzas all day. If you want to watch Aggie football, that's the place to go. Wall-to-wall television. It's great vibes. The sounds are on. You'll love it. Other football games. Go to Bubba's 33. It's a like a sports bar / great food experience. You're going to love when you go there. It's on Highway 6 here in College Station. Check out Bubba's 33. We're back here on TexAgs Live. Time for 25 and 25, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors, an Aggie-owned independent fee-only fiduciary serving families and business owners nationwide. Visit paragon-adv.com. You say you don't know who number 6 is.
No.
Not a bit. You actually don't know.
I do not know.
You want a hint.
Sure.
Okay. This one's like, it's a layup what I'm about to give him, right? How about sandwich made of corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut?
What is that called? I know what it's called.
I know, but
Not
it's
the
the
strong-
best hint ever. It is.
It's
It is a layup of a hint.
It's like, if you can't get
Why
this
can't
one-
I think of that sandwich?
Well-
I get them in New York. What's it called, Reese?
No, you can't tell them.
Give me
what's
the first letter.
No, because then it's easy.
Well, you're going to have me sit here then because I'm not going to.
R.
A Reuben.
There you go.
So who is it?
All right. Well, I don't know because he spells it differently. He spells R-U-E.
R-U-E, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Reuben is R-E-U.
Oh, so that was confused.
I actually don't really like a Reuben. It looks incredible, but they put so much stuff on it that the topping to bread ratio is so off. And then that bread in a Reuben gets way too wet. I like a toasted
I like
bread.
a toasted burger. Or
Like I had
sandwich.
eggs this morning on a piece of sourdough, and I like double toasted. I don't want any. I want toast. I want it toasted. The Reuben, they have that rye, and it's just not. Sometimes it's not toasted well enough.
I like to separate. I don't want it in a sandwich. I want my eggs and I want my toast.
I feel you on that too.
I like the longer experience.
But yeah, so point being, these Reubens are not. I like Reuben Owens better than I like a Reuben sandwich.
I like Reuben Owens a lot. Would you like to talk about him?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I like about what I've heard from him is the accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. He went to the lab, worked on it, put on a little size, feels good. All the years of projecting what he could be, this is now, he is the lead guy right now in that room.
Yeah, and he's had to put in the work or he wouldn't be a lead guy. Like he knows like the pressure's on. He had a good year last year. He had a really good year when you consider he started the year as you're kind of running back 2. And that was kind of with competition from Amari and EJ. But then he became kind of the guy that they was going to be the go-to. It was spread out a little bit, but he was the bell cow for sure. And he did a good job. But I think in his mind, it wasn't good enough. And for where he wants to get and how he can help this team, he's got to have more games like he did against Mississippi State, where you know, against Missouri, where he rewards you for feeding him the ball throughout the game with some big runs late and a lot of production. And he's got to do that. If you want to be an all SEC back, if you want to be the guy that Mike Elko and Holman Wiggins and Trooper Taylor can say, hey, this is our dude, and everyone else is, you know, keeping him fresh, so to speak, or change of pace, he's got to come out of the gates and be really good early on. Because, you know, there's competition not just from Morrow, but some of these young backs as well, which I really consider it's like 3 freshmen in Ryden, Carson Baker, and KJ Edwards. But yeah, I don't think there's a better opportunity out there for someone on this team than Reuben Owens, because he's got experience. He's got SEC experience. He's got big game experience, good and not as good. You know, he struggled in some big games as well, as did the whole A&M running game, particularly the last 2-3 games. But he's gotten big carries and turned in big plays, you know, in places like South Bend and Baton Rouge and down the stretch in close SEC games. So he is by far and away your most experienced guy. He's your only experienced guy, really. And what an opportunity to be the most experienced in the room. He's as talented as any of them, you know. But this is a real big year for his career. But also how Reuben does on the field is going to be a massive, play a massive role in how this team does offensively. Because, again, what is Reuben? Is he a 5 yards per carry with the occasional big play and be part of a rotation where a couple guys run for You might have 4 guys over 500 yards, and Ruben leads the way with 640. It's fine. Or does Ruben take that step and be one of these breakout players in the SEC because of that work he put in,
right,
and because it's paid off? And it's just tough to tell in camp right now. It's tough to tell because I think so much of that is they're mixing and matching on the O-line. They're mixing and matching in the backfield to make sure everybody gets their touches. So for Ruben Owens, I don't think it really shows up until, I would say, like, watch real closely how productive he is against Arizona State and Kentucky, because that could tell the tale for his whole season. If he comes out and hits the ground running against those 2 teams and the Aggies move the ball well, fueled by the ground game, then I think you look at that and go, okay, this is the direction we need to go. It's our best path to success.
Do you have a theory why A&M's running game struggled down the stretch, other than they took on some really elite defensive lines? Is it that simple?
I think it had to do more with who they were playing. Yeah. And I don't know if Colin Klein, maybe Holman Wiggins creates a little more ground game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if were the tight ends not blocking. Theo was never a blocker. It's come out. Michael Riley said, he's playing with a hurt shoulder that required surgery after the season. And when you're a blocking guy and that's going on, that makes it tough. So I think Borkature could block, but I think he was better, in the other areas too. But Nate, to me, maybe that was they didn't feel like maybe the tight end position wasn't getting it done. I don't know what the situation was in those games, but I think more of it had to do with, if I were rating the best D lines that they played, or the best front sevens, right? Or just the best defenses, because it all plays into how well you can play the run.
Those 3.
How confident are you on the back end to commit more to the run? Those 3 and Notre Dame and probably Auburn. And maybe Missouri. So of those 6 games, your top half of the schedule, right? They scored 17 against Texas, 16 against Auburn, 3 against Miami, and then 3 in the first half against South Carolina, and then lit them up. And then they lit up Notre Dame. So really 1.5, and Missouri, they did a good job. So of 6 games, that's 12 halves. In 5.5 of those halves, they did something.
Well,
half of the South Carolina game, the Mizzou game, but it was a struggle against Missouri.
To the ground game, even against Notre Dame, they didn't rush that much either.
No,
right?
Marcel had 400 yards of offense. Auburn, they did run successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, they did run successfully. They just couldn't get in the end zone. But point being, other than Notre Dame in the second half against even Missouri, it was a struggle. It wasn't like they scored 38 points. Ruben popped one late. One of those was a touchdown right before half, set up by Sanford and Brooks. Another one was they got stopped in the fake punt to Brooks. It took them down into scoring range. So that was more of that was a really impressive one by the run game because they wore them out. That was more ground and pound, wear you down, quick passes from Marcel. So they earned it that game. But some of these games, like the better defenses, really shut down their running game and gave them problems.
And I wonder what that says about that offensive line that I thought was really good.
I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I just don't think they were as good as some of the particularly the 2 defensive lines they face at the end of the season. I think, look, Miami's defensive line did that same thing to Ohio State's defensive line a week later.
Mm-hmm.
They did that to Ole Miss's offensive line. Even though Chambliss had a big day, they still got after their butts. Chambliss was just incredible. And they did the same thing to Indiana. That game was on the other night. Like, they made Mendoza and that Indiana team really have to earn it and fight for it. So, again, they were that good at that point in the year. Texas, I think the A&M offense played poorly against Texas more so than even Miami. Miami, I think their defense was elite, not just an edge rusher like Simmons, but like the whole unit. And I think the wind played a massive role in how both teams had to play it. But it certainly took away from the way A&M would have attacked. Texas, I think that was a bad offensive game by A&M, by Marcel, by Colin Klein, by the offensive line in the run game. It just they weren't, and they were okay in the first half. They had 10 points. They should have had 13. You thought, hey, if they can build on that and just play a little better in the second half, they're going to win this game. And that obviously didn't happen.
Come back with the final segment here on TexAgs Live. Right now, some companies are proud of where they started. Paragon Financials is one of those. They are proud of where they call home. That is right here in College Station. They're Aggie owner-operated, built in Aggie land, and they serve clients nationwide with personalized financial planning and investment management. Now, while their reach has grown across the country, their values haven't changed. Integrity, relationships, putting clients first. So whether you're planning for retirement, helping your family build generational wealth, or preparing your business for the next chapter, Paragon is committed to helping clients make confident financial decisions with a long-term perspective. Discover what makes Paragon different at paragon-adv.com. Paragon Financial Advisors, built in Aggie land, serving clients nationwide. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. All right, so maybe this answers the same thing as what we just discussed with Ruben Owens, but who do you think is a player that could raise the ceiling for Texas A&M this year that we normally don't talk about? Like, this guy can be a difference maker, and maybe we haven't thought about him in that way. Raises the ceiling for A&M in 26. Your mic's down here.
Who do I think could raise the ceiling that we don't talk
Could be, and it's off. It could be Ruben Owens.
about? I would say
Isaiah Horton.
no. I mean, these guys. I'm thinking in a different path than you.
Okay.
I would say maybe a Ray Coney
Okay.
Ray Coney / Noah McKell. Like if those young linebackers can kind of raise up to go along with Sanford, I think all of a sudden you'd feel like that defense, that's that second level. If they both did that, you'd have depth. If Coney's as good as I think he's looked, then I think you'd feel really good about the team and where they're at, like the defense and where it's at. So I would say
defensively, one of the linebackers.
I would really say just kind of right up the middle of that defense, the linebackers and the D tackle, because we talk about Hicks, but we don't talk about how good he could be. Where I've had NFL scouts tell me, like, look, they think he's like a second, third round pick right now, but if he plays his way up, he has a chance to go up from there. So if he's that guy, and then you got this bevy of guys, I think starting with C.J. Mims, but you've got a bunch. We can go down the list. You've got 2 additional transfers. You've got a couple second-year guys in Rink and Sanders. Like, there's 4 or 5 others that could be in the mix there. And if one of those guys out of those 5 or 6 steps up to be really good, along with, like I said, like a Coney, Sanford, McHale, Lockhart, like you could all of a sudden be maybe strong up the middle, whereas today I still think that's a little bit of a question mark.
Is there anybody on offense you would put on there?
It would probably be somebody quiet, like one of the offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is yet. Mm-hmm.
Let's check in.
Sorry to disappoint you. It was like you literally look devastated. You're just
Well,
like,
I did.
you go,
I mean, we have 6 minutes, and I was like, I thought this would be a good topic, and now I'm going to pivot.
For 7 minutes?
Someone brought up Jamarian Morrow
8
as
minutes?
a potential ceiling.
Yeah, but see, I just
because
you look at it differently.
He asked it in a way that I thought it needed to be more off the radar. That's why I actually passed on Ashton Bethel-Roman, who I thought could be, like, I think we're underestimating like his over-the-top speed. And when you add a guy like, like an Isaiah Horton on the other side to go with Craver and Bussey and kind of those type, like just to add that pure, unadulterated, over-the-top speed that ABR provides, I just think that could be a lethal weapon added to this offense, where you see a lot more of those bomb shots that you saw against South Carolina and a couple other times last year.
Do you think people recognize ABR outside of Bryan College Station? I'm sure coaches
Not
do.
really. No, not enough. And that's why I would have maybe had him, and Morrow fits that too, but I just feel like Morrow, it's got to be him and or Ruben. So I didn't say him in there.
No.
It's a good one by the texters too.
Yep.
Brad Duncan. Julio Humphrey, would you say that he could be one? Because now all of a sudden you've got, assuming Ricky Gibson is what we think Ricky Gibson's going to be, you add in Julio Humphrey and then Jordan Shaw, all of a sudden you have a pretty good cornerback group that you already think that you have, but now you're seeing it.
No, unless Julio Humphrey or Ricky Gibson end up being like a total stud. That changes it. Because I know that those guys are solid, but I don't think anyone was putting either one of them on their all SEC team. And that's really what you want. You want NFL corners and all conference corners, and no one's putting them on there yet, which is fine. I think they could play at that level without that recognition, but if one of them stepped up and ended up being like, okay, this guy's in the first month of the season, he's playing at a really high level, and he went and made plays against ASU and Kentucky and really showed out in Death Valley, then you start to change, I think, the trajectory of this defense. And that's the hope. That's the hope with those two guys. That like one of those two, Shaw to me more of a nickel, and that's where he can really shine for you. But that's the hope with those two guys, is that the competition pushes one of them to be really damn good, because they both have it in them. But right now, I still think that's a really hotly contested position, that other corner.
Yeah. Is Des Ricks getting his due, you think?
I think within the building and within the fan base, he is. And there's a pretty high expectation on Des. Like just like I just said, like it can't be where all three of these guys are just pretty good corners. I don't think that
somebody
works.
has to be elite.
That doesn't work for a great defense. Somebody's got to be like really damn good. It doesn't matter, like I said, if you get credit from the media or coaches. It's like, what does the tape show? What does your production against the good team show? And what does the NFL draft say ultimately? So those three guys, like if they're pretty good, they're going to get torched by Coleman. They're going to get cooked by Wingo. They're going to get smoked, and Norman by Isaiah Satania. Tennessee's got good receivers. LSU, they're going to have some good games and games where the opposing passing games are kind of quiet, but then when it really matters, they're going to get exposed if they're pretty good.
Yep.
They got to be really good. And I think Dez is one that we're all kind of assuming is, and I think that's a fair assumption. Those other two, who's going to rise up out of them?
Tomorrow we've got a practice to get to, so we'll have a lot of good stuff for you all, next week on TexAgs Live. That's going to do it for our presentation here on a Friday. Our thanks to, who do we have? Oh, Jake Crain. Jake Crain. Yeah, Jake Crain was on the show earlier. That was fun. Appreciate Jake joining us and giving us his thoughts on Texas A&M. That'll do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We will catch up with all of you on Monday.